25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Your Carolina Hurricanes are taking to the ice this holiday season, and they've got a chance for you to be part of the action. Enter today to win 2 tickets to see the Canes take on the Canadiens on New Year's Day. Register to win at hurricanes.com/radio.
Excuse me, garçon. I'll pick up the tab for the lady and I.
Sir, this is Monopoly money.
And there's more where that came from.
I'm calling the cops.
Don't waste your time. I have a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Start playing for real money. New Monopoly scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery have real cash wins of up to $1 million. Monopoly is a trademark of Hasbro. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.83 to 4.28. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Jamie Wilmoth. Milder temperatures with us today. A few more clouds around today with high temperatures in the mid-50s. It's mainly cloudy tonight. Temperatures will stay in the upper 30s. And then scattered showers return Thursday with highs near 60.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is down 134 points to 47,979. Market update brought to you by Blue Shark Vodka, the world's smoothest vodka. Pour Blue Shark Vodka at your holiday events to lift your spirits this season. Blue Shark Vodka, the shark that doesn't bite.
Caden Boozer whipped it inside. Cameron's got it now. Steps to a triple team. Goes up, takes the contact, scores anyway. He's got 26.
Carolina can't get in transition, so they go in the half court, and Wilson throws it down. He puts the poster on Morris on that one.
Trying to find a cutter. He did. Spinning in the paint. Candelino got it swatted by Gongba. It's Dame Sarr to the rack. Put it up. No. Gongba there to clean it up.
Stevenson gets it in the middle of the lane to Faisar for the two-handed throwdown.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Merry CanesMas to you all. We'll be giving away a CanesMas gift in the 4 o'clock hour. Happy Wednesday to you all. Happy bowl season to you all. It's a hockey night in Carolina. We're right in the thick of college basketball season. So as I often say, there's no time to dilly-dally. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox back producing the show. And it's time for the Big 3 at 3.
Number 1.
Duke, speaking of college basketball, took on Lipscomb last night. And if you're just box score watching, you just see the final score. You go 97-73 at home, ho-hum.
Comfy win.
Oh, no. Lipscomb gave him a run.
They had a lead early in the second half.
Lipscomb had him on the run. Listen. Duke has some excuses, and I know people won't want him to use them, but you can talk about they had 10 days off, they were rusty, Lipscomb isn't exactly the team to get your juices flowing. Sure. You shouldn't be in the situation they were in about halfway through the game against Lipscomb. But also, anyone that's paying attention has a little bit of awareness knew that wasn't how it was going to end. I love fandom, and I think it's quite often hilarious. Early in my career, I even didn't catch on, but I tried a podcast that I called Pulse of the Fan, and I just wanted the overreactions, and I was just like, anytime something happened, I was trying to find just a passionate fan to overreact to it. I'll use my dad as an example. My dad's a Duke fan, right? They had season tickets in the 80s. I think I've told you all about it. He's in Mexico right now for business. Last night, I get a text from my dad halfway through the Duke first half, like 10 minutes ago in the first half. It just said one word, yikes. and it had a screenshot of the app showing that Duke was trailing by 8 midway through the first half. And I responded with like, they'll get it together, 10 days off, blah, 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 right? Gave my little like analyst response. I didn't hear from him for an hour and 20 minutes until I just got another one-word text, breathing. By this point, they were up like 20. That's how the reactions had changed, from yikes to breathing. The yikes encapsulated a season high in turnovers for a game in the first half against Lipscomb. And I don't think they were overwhelmed with Lipscomb's athleticism and defense. They're just playing sloppy, giving the ball away, which is part of the reason why I never even considered an upset possible, because it wasn't what Lipscomb was doing. It's what Duke was doing, and you can stop that whenever you decide to lock in. John Shire, head coach of Duke, got his 100th win, by the way, of his career yesterday, talked about the mistakes being fixable.
22 turnovers, I'm not going to say it's not alarming. I mean, that's very concerning. I think it's controllable and fixable, so it's not like I'm in panic mode. But look, the recipe of fouling and turning the ball over is the easiest way to lose. You're just giving gifts. And so I can tell you we're going to be working on it like crazy the next 3 days. And the good part is our guys are aware of it. They know it. I think it goes into the randomness we want to play with and the freedom that we give, but then also having some structure with, there are times like you got to execute. And I thought when we executed, we scored or got a great shot almost every time. So that's something we have to help our guys with as a coaching staff.
The completely controllable mistakes are good teaching points, but they're not reasons to think they won't be fixed. It's when somebody does something that you can't stop that it becomes an issue. They ended up winning by a bunch. Cam Boozer, the guy's statistics are ridiculous. 26, 13, and 3, and I don't think he played particularly well. He had 6 turnovers in the game. He had 26 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, and probably walked off the court a little disappointed. ESPN had the stat right, the framing of the stat. Cameron Boozer has 3 25-point double-doubles. He has played 11 career games. His dad, right, who is a Duke legend and multiple-time All-Star in the NBA, played in 101 career games at Duke. He had 2 25-point double-doubles.
That's wild.
And I think he was disappointed in how he played because of the turnovers.
And that's fair.
Yeah, high bar.
That's fair.
Set a high bar. Now, one slow start to another. That's number 1. Let's get to number 2.
Number 2.
UNC, another top 12 team here in the Triangle, played another game that you would expect they would win by a bunch against East Tennessee State. And yet again, if you look at the game and you were just box score watching at the end, you'd see 77-58 and think, ho-hum, must play good defense, won by a bunch.
Yeah, comfortable win.
UNC started slow as well.
A little bit.
It was a 3-point game with a minute before half, 33-30, UNC over East Tennessee State. The only difference being East Tennessee State never really got over the hump and led, and Lipscomb did have a lead probably later in the game than anybody wanted against Duke. But then the second half is a blowout, and you move on. It's perhaps good lessons, perhaps you get to coach a little harder knowing that everybody's aware that the first half wasn't how it should have gone. Perhaps all of that exists. But in reality, when you are UNC and you're playing East Tennessee State and you have Caleb Wilson and Henry Vasar and you have these guys that can absolutely go, you probably don't get your heart rate up the way you should when you're only up by 3 with a minute to go before half. You're probably more like flabbergasted. Let me see. It was 36-22. The advantage in the paint scoring. Like anytime they needed to, they could have broke glass in case of emergency and went to their 2 big guys and scored a whole bunch, which, by the way, they did. They combined for 46 points between Vasar and Caleb Wilson.
But what a hell of a pickup in the portal, Vasar.
Yeah.
My goodness.
And a heck of a pickup in the high school recruiting in Caleb Wilson.
The high school transfer portal.
Yeah,
thank you, Dabo Sweeney.
Yeah, there it is. Two of the best bigs in the country. And because of that, you were never worried about anything. Hubert Davis, after the game, was asked if it takes time to adjust to low major schools when you are one of the high majors like UNC.
Well, I don't want them to take time because, I mean, every team is different. I mean, when you go into conference play, I mean, it's just everybody has a way that, you know, they play on both ends of the floor. And so, you know, I don't want to get off to slow starts. And I felt like we did. It wasn't just defensively. I didn't feel like we were sharp on the offensive end. I think the first 12 shots that we took, 7 of them were from 3. And we always talk about we want to dominate points in the paint through post or penetration. I love threes. But, man, if, you know, early in the shot clock we can get a layup or a dunk or a deep post catch or get fouled, get to the free throw line, I like that better than a quick 3. And so I thought from an offense on both ends of the floor, it took us a little while to get into the rhythm. And once we did, which it started with us defensively, I felt like it translated on the offensive end as well.
The ACC will make it so you don't start slow. And they'll make it so you can adjust quickly, because my favorite part about the ACC is there is no stereotypical ACC team. The Big Ten, you think big, you think physical, you think powerful, you think down low, you think Big Ten. The SEC, you think up and down, you think fast, you think three-pointers, you think finesse. The ACC does a little bit of everything. Night to night, you'll see something different. I don't know if you have to adjust to lower quality competition, but by the time they get to the tournament or the ACC tournament, they'll be prepared to adjust quickly, because if not, you won't make it through the ACC. That's number 2. Let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
ACC basketball continues tonight. NC State versus Texas Southern. It's a 7 p.m. opening tip. NC State has not won a power conference non-conference game. They're not going to get that against Texas Southern. And really all they've done with their non-conference schedule is, build up a little bit of tension in the air, because they promised certain things and they haven't really lived up to it yet. But they've just heightened the importance of conference play. And they've thanked their lucky stars that the ACC has more Quad 1 and Quad 2 opportunities in conference play, so they still can go find all of their resume-building wins that they need.
And you'll get some of those Quad 1 games at home, too, which has been a rare thing to find in the ACC in recent years.
So those opportunities are still there. Again, thank your lucky stars that the ACC is the ACC of this year, not the ACC of the last 2. But none of that matters if you don't play better. Right? It's not like you've not won your power conference games because you've run into exclusively, super contenders, right? You've lost to Texas. You've lost to Auburn and Kansas, who are top 25 ranked but not top 10 ranked. You've lost games that you'd like to win a couple of. So in order for you to win those in conference, you have to be better. And the way you get better is games like Texas Southern, right? There are side quests in games like this. It's not just win. It's win and. It's win and figure out how your offense can be more explosive and how Darian Williams can be more consistent and how Paul McNeil can knock down shots on a more every game basis, and figure out what Kadir Copeland is doing to be successful offensively, and seeing how you can build off of that, whether that was your plan or not at the beginning of the year. If he's the one that's going to be performing offensively as consistently as anybody, maybe you do start, using him as the focus point and going from there. I don't know. My point is, the ACC is playing well enough that when you play UNC and Louisville and Duke, those are going to be resume-building wins if you can get them. But you're going to have to play better than you've been playing if you want to get those wins, so you got to figure it out in games like tonight. As I've said all along, Will Wade has set a very high expectation for his first year. If they're going to achieve it, it's going to have to start changing soon. You wrote the check, now you got to go try to cash it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That's all college basketball, either last night or tonight. We haven't even touched the fact that the Carolina Hurricanes will be in Nashville tonight, starting a little road trip, and Pyotr Kochetkov expected in net. Canes tonight at Nashville. The main points coming up next.
You know how to tell that you've picked a great gift? When you love to get it yourself. Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here with a great idea. Give Buffalo Brothers gift cards. Whenever I'm back in the Triangle, I make a beeline for Buffalo Brothers to get my wing fix, and it's my go-to spot for gifts and stocking stuffers. Now through December 24th, buy a $40 gift card for someone special and get a $10 gift card for you. Now that's a deal, baby! Visit any of their 5 Triangle locations and buffbrothers.com. Aw, man! Now I want wings!
Are you looking for the perfect holiday gift? Did you know that Bailey's has something for everybody and every budget? Sure, we're known for our designer jewelry, fine diamonds, and luxury watches, but we also have a vast selection of jewelry and gifts under $500. Add a little sparkle with the popular Sterling Collection Pave Diamond Hoops or Pave Diamond Cushion Pendant Necklace, both for only $175 each. Show your love with our Icon Collection Diamond Open Heart Ring for $375. Or stick with something classic, like Akoya Pearl Studs starting at just $165. Bailey's is your go-to destination for holiday shopping. We're proud to make gift giving easy since 1948 and to be voted Best Jeweler year after year. Located in Raleigh's Village District, Cary's Fenton, also in Rocky Mount and Greenville and Charlotte. Every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
Tired of hearing this from your local tire place?
Sorry, we can't fix it. Take it to Dauntless.
This year, skip the middleman and take your car straight to Dauntless Transmissions if you want quality work done right the first time. Transmissions, engine, or brake work, or just a regular tune-up. If it's broke, Dauntless will fix it. For quality work done with the kind of experience that works for you, take it to Dauntless Transmissions first. Go to DauntlessTransmissions.com to book your visit today. Dauntless Transmissions, your local source for exceptional service.
Michkov will pick it up with speed on Bussey. He'll come wide down the right wing boards, coming in, cutting up front. Bussey denies it, and another win for Brandon Bussey. His 9th in a row.
Carolina Hurricanes, all of the chatters about Brandon Bussey. Guy just wins. Just win, baby. Well, he's not playing tonight, at least not expected to be. Pyotr Kochetkov expected in net. And there's something on the line for Pyotr Kochetkov as well, right? The emergence of Bussey has actually shaken up kind of everyone's role in net. And if Kochetkov wants to be the goalie too at this point, has to continue to play well and win games. And right, he was in net for one of the shootout victories recently as well. So Pyotr Kochetkov, I think, you know, if Bussey is what some people think Bussey is, meaning if the first 12 games are real, and if Kochetkov plays like good Pyotr Kochetkov, you have a 26 and a 27-year-old goalie that meaning one of each, that you feel pretty comfortable in, right? Which would be wild based on how much trepidation and concern there's been around the goalie position for the Carolina Hurricanes in recent years. And somehow Freddie Anderson would be the one on the outside looking in. So there's, pay attention to what Kochetkov does in that. He does it differently than Brandon Buss. He does it very differently than Freddie Anderson. But when he's good, he's good. I'm surprised, and we talked about this yesterday, and the reaction to that conversation. Also, first goal scorer predictions will be coming up at about 4:33. So start thinking about who you think will score the first goal for the Carolina Hurricanes, and in what period you think they will score it. If you have, a eureka moment, you just have to tell us. You can always run to our YouTube live stream and jump in the comments with who you think will score the first goal and in what period. But the conversation around Sebastian Aho is heating up. Right. Yesterday we talked about how, he's wired differently than I think many want a superstar to be wired, in that, he's never just going to force the issue on anything. He's just going to continue making what he thinks is the right play over and over and over again. But what I can sense now is, I think, well-intentioned desperation from the fan base for Aho. First goal scorer prediction. The ones I've received on Twitter are overwhelmingly Aho. And that is, not saying all of them, but a lot of them. And they're all like, he gets off the schneid. They're all, Aho finally. Aho needs it. Aho this. I don't think he does. He's one of the only guys that I think has like 80, 90 point possibilities who can go on a 5-game pointless streak, and I'm sure he wants to produce more. Like, don't get me wrong, he's not okay with it. But I don't think he is anybody who you, worry about mentally at all. right? I think when Svech goes on a long scoreless streak, there is an element of like he thinks that's what he's here for. And if it's not happening, maybe start pressing. I think a lot of hockey players, a lot of forwards, particularly high-priced ones, fall into that category, but I just don't think Aho does. If I was playing good 200-foot hockey, if he's setting up in a teammate every now and then, if he's doing solid in the face-off circle and win board battles, he's like, no, I'm good. Jacob Slavin ramping it back up, right? Played last game about 14 and a half minutes. I doubt we'll see 24-minute Slavin.
No, you won't.
But ramped up a little bit, right? I didn't see anything that would indicate a setback. So if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time all season everybody was available at a practice and also going into a game.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time they've practiced and played with everybody available because Slavin had been out since the second game of the year. Pyotr Kochetkov hadn't been available to start the year. And obviously Slavin jumped in and played on Sunday, but that was the second half of a back-to-back, so there was no practice in between. So we get to see the roster as it was designed outside of a little bit of a Slavin innings limit, right? Pitch limit. If he's on a little bit less of a time on ice, which we'll take, right? I'm not going to be a beggar, or I'm not going to be a chooser in this situation. I'm just going to enjoy it.
So Rob Brindamore yesterday did talk about, our good friend Brian Hinkle, the Hockey News, posted this online about how Rob Brindamore said that the limited number of minutes for Slavin might continue for a bit, saying, quote, we're kind of getting directed on how to do that, so it's really out of my hands, to be honest with you. So he's scheduled to skate on the quote-unquote third pair with Alexander Nikishin again tonight, which, again, I'll take 15 minutes from Jacob Slavin than 0 minutes from Jacob Slavin.
Oh, heck yeah.
I mean, that's 100%.
And skating third pairing minutes, but being available on a penalty kill.
Yeah.
Like there's ways to maximize the impact of Slavin without maximizing the minutes of Slavin, which is just exciting to talk about.
I know on Friday when I was filling in for Adam, I talked about this. Generally, I remember I spoke with Rob Brindamore about this a couple weeks ago, about how still trying to figure out the group. Because like you mentioned, they haven't had their full roster this entire season. I mean, again, outside of they had their full complement of skaters the first 2 games, but that's really it. But they don't know what they have yet. We're past the one-third point of the season, and they still don't know what their group really looks like yet.
I made this declaration, I think it was on Monday, that I've talked about how the first few months of the season are all about information gathering for the Canes. And I think right now is the time where you turn that page. Like, as much as you study a Keandre Miller or a Nikolai Ehlers, as much as you study these guys before you acquire them, or even an Alexander Nikishin, who's kind of been in your plans for a long time, but he hasn't been physically in the building, you don't know, right? So you're watching them for the first time. You're trying to guess who they'd skate well with. You're trying to figure out where to put them in the positions where they'll thrive and maybe even working on things that they need to play the system that you ask. Now is the time where the analogy I used was you're not dating to have fun anymore. You're dating to marry. Like the first month, let's see what this looks like, right? Let's throw these two together on a defensive pairing. Now I think you get to the point, because everybody is available, because barring injury and things like Slavin's ice limit. I think if you're putting somebody together, you're auditioning for, like, is this something that I think we could deploy in a big game and trust? So it's getting more real, right? It's no longer dating for fun. It's no longer let's see what this would be like. Now it's all right. If we're putting it out there, let's make some decisions here. Let's gather the real final information and decide whether it's something we'll trust in a big game or in a postseason game even, because as we've said a billion times, the Canes are not going to be judged on their regular season. They'll be judged on their postseason, so figure out what you're going to feel good using. This is the first time I've said this year. I'm very aware of that because there was somebody on Twitter last year that used to track when I said it and would get on me about it.
Okay.
Nashville is nothing to write home about. Apparently, that's what I would say when they're playing teams that are near the bottom of the standings. And this person on Twitter thought I would then jinx the team and they would play great. I don't believe in jinxes, so I'm throwing it out there again. Nashville is nothing to write home about. They're 7th worst in the NHL in goals scored per game. They're 3rd worst in the NHL in goals allowed per game. I'm not saying they don't have any good players, right? O'Reilly, Forsberg, our old guy Brady Shea. Stamkos, who just had 4 goals in a game the other day.
Jonathan Marchessault. They got some guys.
But they aren't the sum of their parts this year. It is a game that you would hope to win. It is a game that you would hope to win at the beginning of a road trip without having to go to a shootout, as fun as they have been. If you play your A game and they play as they have played this year, you should be able to handle it. Also, this is just a fun fact. They have seemingly every version of former Kane on the Nashville Predators. There's
Tyson Jost.
Tyson Jost. There's Brady Shea. There's Michael Bunting. There's Eric Holla. There's loved like Brady Shea. There's hated like Eric Holla. There's short term, long term. They've got like a real weird collection of former Canes on the Nashville Predators.
Yeah, there's definitely especially like Michael Bunting. Like, oh yeah, he did play for us.
Yeah, and part of a pretty big trade.
Yeah.
There's just it's just a fascinating little side note, right? When you're sitting getting ready to watch the Broadway play and you're bored and they haven't taken the stage yet and you had to put your phone away and you're just reading the cast notes because what else are you going to do? There's a lot of like little fun facts in this one where you're just like, hey, you know what? Oh yeah, Bunting. Oh, Tyson Jost did pick up with Nashville. Brady Shea, is he worth the money for them? Like you just go through all of those conversations. And, I want to see that guy do good. Ooh, I do not want to see that guy do good. There's a little bit of both going on in Nashville tonight. It's just fun. Fun fact is what I was trying to say. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the Dean's List coming up, which is always fun. And before we get there, Dennis Cox has something he'd like to tell you.
I do. Dennis Cox here real quick from my good friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I know, haven't been around for the last couple of days, but getting ready for the holiday season. And I know a lot of people are getting ready for not just the holiday season, but starting to maybe make that scratch list of stuff they want to do for the new year. And I know so many people, and you're probably one of those people. I've said it myself. Going into the new year, you know what? I want to be healthier. I want to maybe lose weight, exercise more often, eat better, do all those kinds of things, right? It's almost obligatory at this point. But the problem is that people oftentimes don't have a plan to actually follow through with it. And that's exactly what Raleigh Weight Loss Center does for you. They actually have a direct plan for you to follow. And if you stick with it, you will see results. I've been with the program for over 4 months. I've lost 42 pounds. And the whole part of the plan is not just to get your metabolism going, which it does. It's resetting your metabolism. But it's not just to lose weight. It's to maintain the weight that you've lost. And even with the holidays going on right now, it's been nice for me that I can enjoy a couple things every once in a while and still keep the weight down. I can still step on the scale and see, wow, that number hasn't changed in a good way. That's the thing about the Raleigh Weight Loss plan. The Raleigh Weight Loss Center plan, the Raleigh Weight Loss Center program. Again, restarting your metabolism, no shots, no injections, no steroids, none of those nasty side effects. And if you're serious about getting on the weight loss journey, go ahead and give them a call now, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com and set up a free 15-minute phone call. The phone consultation, it's free, 15 minutes long. Go ahead and set that up. And when you do sign up with the program, use the promo code LOSEIT. You'll save 20% on the awesome program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Again, you'll save 20%. Use the promo code LOSEIT. That deal runs out on Friday, folks. So don't wait for the new year. Go ahead and get started on the program now. 919-897-7506 or RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. 15-minute free phone call and save 20% when you use the promo code LOSEIT. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, passes around a little extra praise to the college sports world. Coming up next with the Dean's List.
Genie log, day 15,824. The Powerball jackpot is over $1 billion now. I'll be stuck in this little lamp forever with nothing but all this stupid gold and rare gems. A gold-plated motorcycle? Sure does a lot of good when you live in a 10x10 magic lamp. Come find me. I'm at latitude 36.06.
Grant your own wishes. The Powerball jackpot is over $1 billion. Must be 18 to play. Approximate jackpot odds are 1 in 293 million. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hi, this is Millie. And guess what? My mom works at the coolest place ever, RoofWorks. You know how Santa lands on your roof? Well, he loves our clients' houses because RoofWorks keeps their roofs super strong and ready for reindeer landings. Remember, that's landings, not droppings, Rudolph. If you want your home to be cozy, safe, and totally Santa approved this holiday season, tell every grown-up to call Roofworks so they can treat you like family too. Happy holidays from me and all the elves at Roofworks.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or bird seed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like rugs. People say a rug would really bring the room together. And sure, you don't know what that means, but it sounds important. Suddenly you're using words like jute and sisal. Then you see the price and lose it, because how can the thing you walk and spill on cost so much? So you devote your life to taking down Big Rug. But then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds. So, looks like Big Rug is safe. For now. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
And the lead is 5, 54-49. A steal. Slim on the run with a right-hand punch. Isaiah in transition. The lead is 7.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Don't forget CanesMas in the 4 o'clock hour. We will accept one or a bunch of your calls. Caller number 10 will win a CanesMas gift from us. It is day 8 of CanesMas. And I have decided, not that I don't know or don't think that the gifts are awesome anymore, but I think by nature of process of elimination, having picked all of the gifts, that I know the 3 that are remaining. So I'm just going to stop saying like, oh, it could be this or it could be this, or because I don't want to spoil anything for you.
Okay.
So just know, still cool gifts available. I'm just not going to specifically shout any out because I've watched them all whittled down.
I believe we gave away both signed pucks.
In back-to-back days,
There
Rod
you go.
Brindamore signed puck and a Nikolai Ehlers signed puck.
Very cool.
So I hope somebody heard the Rod Brindamore signed puck and went like, oh, I got to call in. They're giving away signed pucks. And then the next day got an Ehlers signed puck. That's just, my little dream scenario behind the scenes. My dream scenario right now is that we jump to the Dean's List. There it is. My dream just came true. Dean's List, pass on a little extra praise to those connected directly or indirectly to the college sports world that we love so much here in the mecca of college sports, the Triangle in North Carolina. First Dean's List. I had a hard time deciding if I was going to put this one on there, but I then realized that they probably had the coolest 4-day span in amateur-ish sports. Kendra Harrison, he is a 5-star tight end pass catcher from Reedsville High School. He played for his team's state championship in football, won the state championship in football, and when you're a 5-star, obviously you had a lot to do with that. He's already signed with Oregon, and he is enrolling early at Oregon to be there for the second semester, which means he can only play basketball, where he is also a top, 50 recruit in the country, top 75 recruit in the country on the basketball court. He can only play as long as class is going on in the first semester, which gave him 1 game of basketball his senior year. So in a 4-day period, he wins a football state championship, hustles over to basketball, plays in their first game. They win 78-29. You can go find the highlights. He dunked a lot. Pushed their win streak to 61 straight games, by the way. Reedsville's been cruising. And now he graduates early and he goes to Oregon, and he gets to go play for the Ducks. That's, as far as big man on campus and high school stuff, that's as cool as it gets.
Imagine just being able to walk right off the football field onto the basketball court and just dominate.
You felt
some Julius Pepper stuff right there.
I was going to say, some extremely small time. Like, I played football and basketball in high school. And if football went to the playoffs, you walked into basketball tryouts like a week or two late, so everybody else had already been running and you were playing. The first time you walked into basketball, you felt like such a big timer. Like, oh, sorry, we were in the football playoffs. I can't imagine walking straight from winning a state title to dunking a million times and winning by a bunch to extend a 60-game win streak, and then saying, sorry, I wish I could stay, but Oregon wants me on the football team immediately, so I need to get out to Eugene. See ya. That's just another level. More Dean's List. I promise this is connected to college. I'm putting the NBA.
Just the NBA?
I guess specifically Adam Silver, but he represents the NBA, right?
He went to Duke.
True. Their local connection. But that's not even the local connection I was going for. Adam Silver told NBA on Prime, the Amazon pregame show, that some storied college locations are under consideration to host future NBA Cup championship games.
Oh, okay.
Now, the NBA Cup is the in-season tournament that's been going on the last couple years in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it had sizzle early. Not a lot of sizzle now. They're looking for ways to re-spice it up. Duke men's basketball, their official account, immediately retweeted the quote from Mark Stein, the insider that tweeted it out, and captioned it with, or quote tweeted it with, Cameron's the most storied.
And like I said, Adam Silver is a Duke guy.
I've long said that it's happening slowly now, but it used to be like non-existent. Movies have figured out that like a location can be a character. They're always like, the movie starring Denzel Washington and Kate Winslet really stars New York City. The location can be a part of the story in sports more often than it is, right? College football's figured it out. They're going to different places. They play bowl games in Fenway. Hockey's figured it out a little bit with the outdoor series. The NBA, if they played a NBA Cup championship in Cameron Indoor, if they played an NBA Cup championship in Rupp Arena or some of these really cool Allen Fieldhouse, it'd be pretty exciting.
Been playing in Chapel Hill.
Oh, yeah, but we don't know what that's even going to look like. I don't know if you've seen all the news recently.
Oh yeah, I know.
Who knows if that's even going to be standing? Maybe in the new one.
Maybe. I know there's the plans potentially building a new place, but I don't. Heck, play it at Carmichael.
Yeah, that would actually be.
That'd
really
be
cool.
dope. Play it at Reynolds.
Yeah.
Yo, that'd be sick.
Now we're talking, right?
Yeah,
now we're talking.
See? Play at Reynolds. Play at
Get
Carmichael.
the wheels
play
spinning.
at Cameron.
Have David Thompson there if you're playing the statue right outside.
Yeah. Play in Greensboro. At the Coliseum.
Yeah, that's actually another really, really good option. So we'll see. I'm just saying it's a good idea. Do you have any Dean's Listers?
I do. Dean's List. John Shire, 100 wins.
Hey.
There you go.
Way to go. I'll throw NC State and Dave Doran on there.
Okay. Bowl game coming up in a couple days.
Bowl game on Friday, 2:30. Weird time. Almost no opt-outs. Very few opt-outs and none as far as I know, and I know this could change any moment. None like of significance. And that just feels like this isn't a CFP, you know what I mean? It's the Gasparilla Bowl playing against Memphis with an interim coach. I think that is a bigger feather in the cap of the coaching staff than most believe, that everybody wants to keep playing for you, right? No, if you're definitely going to the transfer portal, like I'm not saying nobody will go to the transfer portal or no one of significance will, but if you're 100% going to the transfer portal, you probably don't risk injury in the Gasparilla Bowl against Memphis. But if you're at least considering sticking around, you might consider sticking around, right? I just think it's a nice little breath of fresh air when you have a team with, some players that are very good at high-profile positions that are hanging around to play every game they can with their teammates and trying to send seniors off with a win in an 8-win season and all those sort of things. By the way, Duke also has a pretty good track record of keeping guys home and playing in bowl games and no transfer portals. Maybe it's the area. Maybe it's not the coaching staff. It's just everybody loves the barbecue around here. I don't know.
It's good barbecue.
Last one on the Dean's List for today. If you're watching on YouTube, you see the sweatshirt. First bowl game in the history of the University of Delaware tonight.
Oh, look at that.
The 68 Ventures Bowl versus Louisiana and the Ragin' Cajuns in Mobile, Alabama. Tonight at 8:30 p.m. I mean, it's crazy that all these FBS teams act like bowl eligibilities. Oh, it's so difficult. Oh, it's so important. Bounce up from FCS, bowl eligible in our first year. Heading down to Mobile, Alabama, or been there for about a week now. Getting ready for the 68 Ventures Bowl. It's supposed to be hard. I reserve the right to retract those statements in previous years. But for right now, we're batting 100%. 1,000%, sorry. Delaware Blue Hens, baby.
You could always opt out like Notre Dame, I guess, if it gets too easy.
Oh, we would never. We would never.
I don't know if it gets too easy.
We
Tim.
honor the sport. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's go, Hens. Now, for those of you that are unaware, I did play for, graduate from the University of Delaware, and a graduation, if somebody's graduating winter session here, maybe you're graduating a little early, it's a great occasion to mark with a luxury timepiece. Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Obviously, the holidays are coming up. Luxury timepiece, great gift, a true wow moment watching someone's face light up when I can't even imagine how awesome you would feel. But graduations, wedding anniversaries, birth of children, big life milestones. It's a bit ironic, but I think really appropriate to mark a time stamp in your life with a watch. Huh? See what I did there? So if you maybe didn't have enough money to go grab the pre-owned and vintage Rolex that you dreamed of when you graduated, you can always work with the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop to find a watch that was made in the year you graduated, or made in the year one of your children were born, or made in the year that one of your maybe you got married. And now for a Christmas gift, you're going to get your significant other a watch from the year that you got married. Huh? That also happens to be their, Grail, white dial, beautiful pre-owned and vintage Rolex. Right? It's a great gift, meaningful, right? Thought behind it. You're checking all the boxes. And by the way, no matter what the boxes are for the person in your life, Fox and Bailey Watch Shop and Bailey's Fine Jewelry can help you out. If they want a diver's watch, how about the granddaddy of them all, 50 Fathoms from Blancpain? If they want an iconic watch, how about a moon watch, right? The one that goes on the moon from Omega, Speedmaster. Again, pre-owned and vintage Rolex, you need no introduction. You want to watch from their favorite movie, Hamilton's. I could go on and on. They could as well, and you should. So go check them out. Fox and Bailey Watch Shop, located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location. Check out the main showroom as well for that other someone special in your life. Just let them know when you're out there checking it out that you heard about it from me, Tim, right here on 99.9 The Fan. The news broke yesterday. ACC schedules coming out for the football season that will be next year. And I'll just tell you this. The ACC has learned nothing. Stick around.
It's bow time. 'Tis the season for food and family, but thanks to Bojangles, you don't have to spend hours in the kitchen when loved ones come home for the holidays. Set down the spatula and put away the mixing bowls, because this holiday season, Bojangles is ready to help you celebrate with all your family favorites, like Chicken Supremes, Cajun Filet Biscuits, or a big bow box of hand-breaded chicken, scratch-made biscuits, and fixins for the whole family. We'll make the food so you can focus on making memories. Head to Bojangles and gift yourself a taste of home. It's bow time.
If it's ho-ho-ho time, it's Bo-Bo-Bo time. Time to order a party-sized platter of that bodacious Bojangles flavor before your next holiday celebration. Choose a Bojangles Supremes platter and get 50 whole breast tenderloin fillets. Or go with a Bojangles dessert platter and get 2 dozen Bo-Berry biscuits, 2 dozen cinnamon twists, or 1 dozen of each. It's a platter full of Bo-liciousness. And don't forget to pick up Bojangles gift cards. Just the right gift for anyone on your list. Hurry, it's Bo time.
Here's Megan with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Are sleepless nights affecting your life? Parkway Sleep Health Centers can help. We've treated sleep disorders in the Triangle and beyond for over 20 years. We offer sleep studies, office visits, CPAP machines, supplies, and more. And our streamlined process allows us to see you sooner and usually saves hundreds of dollars.
End sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep. Sound health.
The best financial move you can make this time of year? How about lowering your mortgage rates to 4.99% fixed APR, the lowest rates in years? How about getting up to $500,000 out of your home equity in the process? You can do it now by calling Loan Pronto. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get a ton of cash, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and skip up to 2 house payments. One homeowner just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, wiped out their credit cards and 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. month. Don't wait. No hard credit pull up front, and you probably won't even need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. Start the new year by wiping out all higher interest debt and lowering your bills by thousands. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171, APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
It's Minson to throw, wide open, Hazley! Touchdown! Jeremiah! What a time for your first touchdown of the season!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. So news broke during the show yesterday about the ACC announcing their football conference opponents for next season. And my reaction was, I can only imagine, like, the same reaction that, like, ancient Greeks had the first time they saw an eclipse. Just like, what is happening here? Maybe a little bit more dramatic than that for them. But either way, over the last 24 hours since the show yesterday, and obviously all that broke, I wanted to settle down, right? It was kind of good advice for people like me that like to rant and rave. Take a minute, take a couple deep breaths, go do something else, come back to it, see if you still feel the same way. So I still feel the same way. Absolutely nothing has changed. I'm just as flabbergasted. I'm just as upset. I think it'll come back to bite them pretty high percentage in the same way that the ACC has been bitten already. So this year, let's just look at what happened at the end of this season for the ACC in football. They had what can best be described as a cluster bleep of a top of the standings in conference. Virginia was the solo number one because they only had one loss in conference. Keep in mind, they did lose 2 games to ACC teams, but one of them was deemed not a conference game. So they had the same amount of losses as the 5 teams tied in second in the ACC, same amount of losses to ACC teams, but they were alone in first. Everybody seemed to get that and be okay with it, even though it makes very little sense. Then there were 5 teams tied with 2 losses, and they had to go down, not this tiebreaker, not that tiebreaker, not that tiebreaker, all the way down until Duke won the final, whatever the last tiebreaker was, to go be in the ACC championship, which meant Miami, who only had 2 losses on the season and was ranked in the top 20 of the CFP rankings, didn't play in the ACC championship. Duke did. Duke wins. They win the ACC championship, and chaos broke out. Somehow, all of that led to Notre Dame's athletic director being really mean to the Atlantic Coast Conference for promoting Miami. It was a real, like, butterfly flaps its wings confusion that led to a whole bunch of chaos. So this offseason, if I were the ACC, my entire thought process would be, how can we avoid a similar cluster bleep? How can we avoid a similar situation where a whole bunch of teams believe they are deserving of playing in the ACC championship? Apparently not on the same wavelength as me with the ACC. The ACC put out their opponents for conference games. So now all of the games I'm about to mention count towards the Atlantic Coast Conference standings. Right? These are not extra games like Virginia played against NC State last year. These are conference games. 12 of the 17 teams that play football for the ACC are going to play 9 conference games. The other 5 will play 8 conference games. Dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
What?
And I know that there was talk of this happening. They're calling it a transition because the new plan is that the ACC will all play as many as they can, but with 17, it can't be the same team every year. One team will have to play 8 games every year if they stay at 17. But everybody else will play 9 conference games every year. And they did not want to require teams to have to buy out of some of their non-conference games. So if you had enough non-conference games scheduled already, you could play just 8. Listen, you're setting yourself up to be in the same exact situation you were in last year, this year. And what do you mean by that? Well, it means this. You're going to have a team. I almost guarantee it, because in these situations, it's like, when you're making yourself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and you have a piece of bread that is covered jelly on one side and completely fresh on the other, and you drop it, which side always lands on the counter? Jelly side down, right? It never lands the convenient way where you just pick it up and go, whew, that was close. It all, like, once you expose yourself to something bad happen, the bad thing always happens. Here's what's going to happen. There's going to be a team that everybody knows is better and more deserving, and they're going to have played 9 conference games and lost 2. And there's going to be a team who is not as deserving and not as good, and they're going to have played 8 conference games and lost 1, and their schedule will have avoided a whole bunch of the really good teams in the ACC. And you're going to have no choice but to put them in, and then the CFP and the national standing and the ACC championship will be chaos once again. And there's no reason for it. There's no reason for it. There's already an issue with the ACC being as large as it is, with 17 teams, in that you can be in the same conference and play almost none of the common opponents.
I mean, yeah, you're seeing that with all the conferences now.
Which, yeah, that's true. I like to focus on ours, but you're exactly right. The others are also in this way. But like Miami and Duke last year, the two that everybody were arguing about, they played 2 common opponents. 2. They're in the same conference. The whole point of conferences is it's a smaller pool, so you can play more of them, and you can then judge who's better for something like a conference championship. Do you know what we're one step away from? An ACC championship selection committee. We're one step away.
You know what? You might not be wrong in that regard.
Where you're going to have to look around and go, well, this team played 9 games in conference, this team played 8, but the strength of record for this team is better. This team has bad losses but good wins. You know what? Let's get 12 people that are familiar with the ACC, put them into a room, and every Tuesday they'll let us know who's in first in the ACC.
I would not be surprised if the tie-breaking gets tweaked where CFP rankings gets factored into it.
They've already announced that the tiebreakers will change.
Yeah.
If it's the CFP rankings, I will be furious. And that's not to say, like, it might be what's best for the ACC, but it just takes away from the integrity of the ACC championship. Like, there can't be objectivity in who wins a conference. It has to be decided by the numbers. And I don't love that they would go to a tiebreaker or something like, winning percentage of opponents or something, but at least that was settled on the field.
Something tangible.
Yeah, not just, the Arkansas athletic director talked to the Illinois president, and they think that Miami should be in the ACC championship game, which if that ends up being the tiebreaker, that's what would have happened this past year.
Mm-hmm.
You would have just had people who are generically connected to different colleges around the country, former coaches and things, looking at the ACC and being like the judge at the end of the Westminster Dog Show, first, second, third, and those will just get to decide who goes into the ACC championship if there's a tie.
Maybe that's who should judge. The Westminster Dog Show judge. You
have the quarterbacks walk by, they look at jaws and things.
You're the best in show over there. But this is something I think is really going to be interesting in the fact that, let's say one of those teams that only has to play 8 games goes 8-0. And then there's a team that's sitting there at 8-1. And so, well, wait a second.
Who played much more difficult team.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we played, let's say it's Miami or Duke or whomever it is, and that's the game that we lost, as opposed to you got to play, Eastern Kentucky. So it's like, again, where does that balance in? It's like, wait a second. If they had to go play Miami, they probably would have lost that game too. So where's the equality and all that? I think it stinks. Yep. I think it really does. If this was the way it was going to be, then wait another year.
Yes.
Then wait another year. Wait till the 2027 season as opposed to doing it all right now.
Or if you want to start it this year, pool your money and buy out the non-conference opponents of the ones that only can afford 8 conference games right now to buy it out to play one more.
Yeah, get rid of the FCS game that you're going to play.
And pay whatever that contract says you have to pay. And not to mention, NC State, the NC State's playing 9 conference games, okay? 9. If you're watching on YouTube, I did hold up 10 fingers originally. 9 conference games. 5 of them are home. So they're only playing 4 road games. One of those road games is against Virginia in Brazil. So let's not call that a true road game. They're playing 3 road games in conference. I don't blame NC State for it, but is that fair? There are going to be teams that play 5 road games. They're going to play 3.
Yeah.
Like we're already, the whole point is fairness. That's all sports is everybody deals with the same thing. It's fair. And then whoever comes out with the best record at the end wins it all. And now it's not. It's at least it's not identical like setups. If it turns into the ACC selection committee, ACC championship selection committee, then you're trying to make it fair, but it's people, and people are inherently flawed.
I mean, Carolina's one of the schools that has to play just 8.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, do you tell them, like, hey, you can't play East Tennessee State this year at home? Like, I mean, they do play non-conference.
Yeah.
They're playing in Dublin against TCU. You wouldn't want them to drop that. They have Notre Dame. That's part of the ACC agreement. And then they also have UConn. So, I mean, do you drop UConn that game on the road, or do you drop your home game against East Tennessee State? I mean, but I also wonder as well, like, I wonder, this is something I actually got to go back and look and see, is that because Notre Dame has their 5 conference games or 5 games against ACC opponents, I got to look and see if those are the schools that only have to play 8, because it's like, well, we can't reschedule that one, you know?
It would be funny. Just count them as a conference win or loss then.
Actually, they should. Make that Notre Dame game a I said this is something I got to go look and see.
Yeah, or count UConn. I don't know. Count one game that's a non-conference game. Like it's you have to play the same amount, and it has to be more common opponents. I hate to say it because people hated it so much. Bring divisions back and play everyone in your division. Now we have common opponents. We can decide who out of your division makes it to the conference championship, and we don't have to get to people deciding.
So the 5 schools are Boston College, Clemson, Florida State, Georgia Tech, and UNC that have to play just 8 conference games.
Say this again.
Boston College, Clemson, Florida State, Georgia Tech, UNC. They only have to play 8 conference games this upcoming year.
Yeah. So, but, I mean, you could argue 2 losses for them are more penal than 2 losses will be for the others.
Yeah.
Like, it's not fair in a lot of different ways. It's not, actually, I don't want to say fair. It's not equal in a lot of different ways, and I just don't see why your conference can't be equal. David Hale points out Boston College, Louisville, and Georgia Tech, they're scheduled to play 11 Power 4 opponents now.
Jeez.
Tough schedule for them. Tough schedule for Georgia Tech plays their conference schedule also goes to Georgia, hosts Tennessee, and hosts Colorado. Louisville is going to have 9 ACC games and Ole Miss and Kentucky. That's not the same as some other ACC schedules. But that's non-conference stuff, so I'm not as mad about that. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I just want to let you know I haven't cooled off in the last 24 hours. It makes less sense now than it did after I thought about it for a full night. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Football at 4 coming up next is the engine of the Carolina Panthers offense sputtering. Stick around.
Adam Golden Studio with my friend Sammy Hanna, owner-operator of the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. Are you feeling the spirit of the holiday, sir?
We love the holidays, Adam, and we are feeling the spirit. It's been a great year. Just want to thank everybody out there, our listeners, our homeowners, our employees, everyone involved that makes the Aluminum Company great. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Or do you get the sense that people ask for, like, green or red siding during this time of the year?
We have not gotten a request for green or red siding, but that is something we can always try and accommodate. We're here to help our homeowners with any concern they want to do.
You can do green or red metal roofing.
We can. Yes, we can.
Do they ever stripe it like green and then red and then green and then red?
We have not had that request yet, Adam, but we are here to accommodate any homeowner request.
Sometimes you just really feel the spirit of the holiday.
And we can accommodate.
Happy holidays to you. Thank you very much for all you do for us, for sponsoring my hockey podcast.
Happy holidays.
Appreciate
and thank you.
that. Aluminumcompany.com.
Hey, girl. Haven't seen you downtown lately. Nope. Sticking to our go-to places. You mean like Sharky's. Well, we love our Sharkies. Best wings and gumbo on the planet. But we never miss the $5 sangrias on Wednesdays at the new Salt and Lime and Mexican pints on Thursdays for $3.
You know my boy loves the House of Hops. No better selection of craft beer in the state. Loves their specials, their food trucks, and you know I love my wine. They have a wonderful selection.
And have I told you about our new takeout spot, Che Empanadas? It's right next to Sharky's. They have 20 different types of authentic Argentinian empanadas, and they are incredible, especially the breakfast ones. You gotta try it.
Sounds perfect. And how awesome is it that they're so close to each other?
Oh, it's perfect, all right.
Give them a try. Che Empanadas, House of Hops, Salt and Lime, and Sharky's. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from each other off Durham Road, Glenwood, and Grove Barton.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WREL meteorologist Amy Wilmoth. It's a mild afternoon today. More clouds around with temperatures in the mid-50s for our highs. Overnight tonight, mostly cloudy with lows in the upper 30s. And then scattered showers return for Thursday.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones today down 216 points to 47,897.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The Carolina Panthers had a pretty bad loss on Sunday against the Saints. But if you're looking to stay optimistic, they still 100% control their destiny. You beat Tampa twice, you go to the playoffs, right? You're not quite to the point where you're watching other games taking place going, we need this team to win and that team to lose, right? You take care of business on the games you need to take care of business on, you go to the postseason. Now, that's obviously more easily said than done because beating the Saints was a way you could have controlled your destiny, and they weren't able to do it.
Nope.
But I say that just to point out that it's still there, right? There's nothing that has become insurmountable for the Carolina Panthers. And they have, part of going win-loss is they bounced back pretty well from the losses, as you'll hear here from Dave Canales on why the team has bounced back so well from those losses.
It's the character of the team, and the guys look at these different opportunities to respond to adversity, and whether it's in a game or whether it's after the game, coming into the next one, and losing has a way of humbling you, and we're no different than any group where. The greatest things is these opportunities, even when you lose, can you learn from the things? Can you learn from the stuff that we didn't execute well or different situations that I could have called something different, and Jarrow as well, and Tracy, all of us taking that information in and being accountable to each other. And I believe that's probably, as I talk and ramble, getting to the accountability piece of it, where we all know we have a part in it, and so we just attack it head on and try to right those things in meetings, and when we can't wait to get back on the field to shore up some of the things that we want to show up for us.
If you're making a list of things that need to be shored up, where's the running game on that list? The Panthers, I believe, their offensive engine, right? The things that have to absolutely drive their offensive production is the running game, right? I believe everything else comes off of the running game. It's why I've been all year so adamant on stay committed to the running game, use the running game, stay committed to the running game. Is there something wrong with that offensive engine? This past week against the Saints, the running statistics were kind of sugar-coated by Bryce Young's scrambles, right? Made some, yards per carry and everything, total yardage, a little bit higher than it probably should. If you look at just the running backs, 24 carries, 78 yards, the 1 touchdown from Rico. That is a 3.25 yards per carry, and their longest run by anyone that is a running back, 10 yards. Now, Chuba had a good day against the Rams.
He did.
Rico Dowdle struggled. Nothing the previous week from darn near anybody. Very little the previous week against the Falcons, even though the offensive output, obviously, through the air was great. Not much on the ground against the Saints the week before, and you have to go all the way back to the Packers, which was the tail end of Rico Dowdle's I'm on fire run for a 100-yard performance from a single running back. How concerned is that? How concerning is that when you're talking about the Carolina Panthers? And is that something you can fix? I hate to say it. Actually, I don't hate to say it. There might be something to be said for whether it's Rico or Chuba, you got to pick one. Right? Because it's pretty obvious, and maybe it's, it could be chicken or the egg, but when in the games where you've tried to split, it really hasn't been effective. In the games where you can let somebody get in, work themselves into a lather, get into a bit of a rhythm, start, landing the body blows with the anticipation of using that to pop the big one, that's where they've had their more success. Right? Rico Dowdle's reckless streak was pretty much paired with when Chuba Hubbard wasn't a true threat to taking any carries away. He wasn't, running for 130 on 10 carries. He was running for 130 on 30 carries. I don't think this is something that changes who you are philosophically. You have to continue to run the ball. 3.25 yards per carry isn't good enough from the running backs. But 3.6, I think you're living with. You don't have to go ahead and be the most prolific, most efficient running game in the history of the world. You just have to be good enough that you're in the mix. You just have to be good enough that the passing game can complement you. Right? We were talking off air about some of the scoring output from the Carolina Panthers. Mm-hmm. And I think part of it is because they've been appropriately committed to the run, and the run game has been letting them down. And I don't think they should be panicky with the run game. I don't have enough trust in the pass game that you should, at first sign of struggle, jump over to the pass game and become pass first. I think you almost go to the pass game at the last possible minute if you think you need to throw your way back into a game, and you live with that, right? We're going to have a conversation later on in the show, and it was a great question asked on social media by Adam Gold, so hat tip to him, on who the offensive MVP is for the Carolina Panthers at this point in the season. Right? Taking into account the entirety of the regular season, who would you make the offensive MVP of the Carolina Panthers? And I believe if we asked that, maybe the most popular answer would be Damian Lewis, the offensive lineman.
Yeah. If you're going to go outside of a skill guy, because people might say T-Mac.
Maybe. He's obviously, we're learning now that he might have been dealing with something as far as an injury, but he's been playing through it. But his last two games have not been otherworldly impactful.
Mm-mm.
And if maybe your best player on offense is your offensive guard, you better darn sure be running the ball.
Yeah.
And you better darn sure be using every creative way to make him the tip of the spear in the blocking scheme. And if Ike Ekwonu, which, by the way, the book on Ike Ekwonu goes back how many years on him being a mauler in the run game and needing improvement in the pass game, we've seen some of that improvement. We've seen some steps back. But if he's the mauler in the run game, you better darn sure be running the ball.
Especially when those two are lined up next to each other.
You're darn right. I'm concerned with the effectiveness of the running game. I'm concerned with the effectiveness of Rico Dowdle. I'm concerned with fatigue and or injury, something, right, the boo-boos and the owies, as I call them, adding up and making them less explosive. But I don't see a better alternative out there. And I darn sure don't want to set up the defense in a situation where the offense is quickly going 3 and out or incompletions are not taking time off the clock. You have to treat yourself like you're the Carolina Panthers, not like you are some other team who might have a more dependable pass game.
So if you go back from the Packers game, where Rico had 25 carries for 130 yards and a couple touchdowns in that game. Against the Saints at home the following week, just 2.9 yards per carry. Maybe that's just a New Orleans Saints thing. The Falcons held him to 2.4 yards a carry. He had 18 and 19 carries respectively in those games. The Niners game was where he and Chuba Hubbard were doing well. He was averaging 6.3, but Dave Canales, terrible play calling in that game. Only 9 called runs between Rico and Chuba in that one. But against the Rams, he was 3.2, and then against the Saints, 3.1. Chuba Hubbard, the last couple of weeks, he was 3.6 against the Saints. He was 4.9 against the Rams. He was actually their better running back in those games. And against the Falcons, 5.2. Against the 49ers, 5.3. But again, smaller number of carries. We're talking 3-4 carries in some of these games. So I don't know what their answer is in terms of the run game. But I think it also just goes to show you to me, that just might be a microcosm of their season as an offense as a whole. They haven't scored 20-plus points in back-to-back games since weeks 5 and 6. Weeks 5 and 6, Tim, it's week 16.
Oh, no, trust me.
it's insane.
The running game to me is drawing a few arrows because, quite frankly, of how good they were for a 6-week stretch. And you had to know it wasn't just going to be that forever. But also, correct where correct is, the passing game has a big part in why the running game isn't going to work. Right? If somebody is selling out, and you don't even have to sell out to stop the run. I'm not acting like every single time the running game hasn't worked, it's because they're putting 9 dudes in the box and taking defensive backs off the field to put on 330-pound nose tackles. I'm not saying that, but when the number one thing on the scouting report is you have to stop Rico Dowdle, he's still, by the way, in the top 10 in rushing yards in the entire NFL. When the number one thing is you have to make them, beat you left-handed, as defensive coordinators often say, take away what they do best, and that's the running game. They haven't been able to take advantage of the pass game in a way that changes you as a defense. The big plays are the ones that change you, right? You need to have something over the top. You need to have something drastic. If it takes you 12 plays, 8 completed passes, 4 stuffed runs to score, most defensive coordinators in modern NFL are going to say, great job. They'll do that maybe once or twice a game. They won't be able to avoid mistakes that whole time. However, if they sell out to stop the run, or even just, send a run blitz or bring one extra linebacker onto the field and you beat them for a 60-yard touchdown, they won't do that as much. We haven't gotten the 60-yard touchdown. We haven't gotten the I'm going to change you plays from the passing game, which has allowed the running game to just get grinded into a pulp.
By the way, Chuba Hubbard faces a loaded box, 8+ defenders on 18.5% of his carries. That's 10th fewest of all running backs in the NFL. And then you also look at Rico Dowdle on that same list, 20.67%, which is 15th fewest in the NFL. I think there's guys like, for example, you're seeing James Cook in Buffalo, 31% of the time faces 8+ guys in the box. Jaylen Warren, 31% of the time faces 8+ guys in the box. J.K. Dobbins, Derrick Henry, all these guys get way more. David Montgomery, all these guys face more 8+ defenders in the box than Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle do.
And, I mean, a lot of those offenses are night and day. If you're worried about Josh Allen, you're stacking the box against James Cook in a lot of ways. So some of those are different, but also some of those offenses you got to take more chances against. Right? Some of those offenses, you're much more worried about a big play, or you figure you have to make a big play quickly because no matter what you do, they'll get it going in the opposite direction. With the Panthers, I mean, keep your base defense out there and just play kind of normal coverage, and the passing game is stopped, and you're good. It's not great, but there aren't any obvious answers. I still think Rico Dowdle's a good running back. He's averaging 4.7 yards per carry on the season. That's more than somebody like Etienne. That's more than Breece Hall. That's more than Josh Jacobs. That's more than a lot of guys that are having pretty good seasons.
How much is that inflated, though, by a hot stretch?
I mean, everybody's is, though. Like, if you take away anybody's best 3 games, they're gonna be significantly worse.
But again, I mean, like, best few games, but I mean, also as well, like, if you're going to take away the top couple, you're going to take away the bottom couple. That's the way I look at it. But, I mean, Dolphins, 9 yards to carry. The Cowboys, 6.1. The Jets, 4.6. The Bills, 6.8. The Packers, 5.2. And then it's a lot of 2.4, 2.9, 3.1, 3.2, 3, 1.5, 4. I mean, 3.6.
Yeah, but like I just brought up Devon Achane as a kind of whatever also ran. There's a 7.9, there's an 8.0, there's a 5.0, there's a 5.2, there's also a 1.6, there's also a 2.7, there's also a 3.7. So like, you know, running games, by the way, 1.6 was against Carolina Panthers. There's ups and downs throughout. It's actually probably part of the staying committed to the run game. And you ready for a cross-sport conversation? It's the thing that I'm waiting for on Brandon Bussey is it's easy to give Rico Dowdle 25 carries after he had 30 carries for 200 yards the previous week. It's difficult to give someone 25 carries the game after they average 2.7 yards per carry. But if you truly believe in your run game, if you truly believe in that running back as a bell cow workhorse, you kind of keep doing it. You know what I mean? You keep trusting them in those moments. And you know, Brandon Bussey, do they give him the net in a huge game after a bad game? We've never seen him have a bad game. So it's like we're still waiting to learn that. I think, and maybe this will come back to bite me, I think you still keep giving the ball to the run game. And if you want to pick the hot hand, that's fine. But whichever one it is, Rico Dowdle or Chuba Hubbard, I think you have to give them 20-plus carries. And you have to see if they can't be a workhorse running back and have confidence in them. Even if their first 3 carries go for, 5 yards combined, you still got to make sure they get there because it is a really tough place to be, not having something you can lean on. And right now, I don't know if the passing offense, you can lean on it. And in the last 3-4 games, I'm not sure the running game is something you feel comfortable leaning on. But you got to pick one of them, and I know which one I'm picking. That's Football at 4 here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. We have blind ranking, Hurricanes and Cons, and don't forget first goal scorer predictions, all coming up soon. Don't go anywhere.
Listen for college football's best through January 19th. From the Military Bowl to the Natty in Miami, every major bowl game will be brought to you live.
Fans rush the field. NC State's a winner and knocks off undefeated top 10 Georgia Tech. 48-36 the final.
Bowl season on 99.9 The Fan and Buzz Sports is presented by Wake Men, Roofworks, and Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Sanford.
You know how to tell that you've picked a great gift? When you love to get it yourself. Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here with a great idea. Give Buffalo Brothers gift cards. Whenever I'm back in the Triangle, I make a beeline for Buffalo Brothers to get my wing fix, and it's my go-to spot for gifts and stocking stuffers. Now through December 24th, buy a $40 gift card for someone special and get a $10 gift card for you. Now that's a deal, baby! Visit any of their 5 Triangle locations and buffbrothers.com. Aw, man! Now I want wings!
Did you know that Bailey's Fine Jewelry has something for everybody and every budget? Sure, we're known for luxury designers, fine diamonds, and watches, but we also have a huge selection of jewelry and gifts under $500. We're celebrating making holiday gifting easy since 1948. You can shop online at baileybox.com, or we invite you to visit one of our locations in Raleigh, Cary, Rocky Mount, Greenville, and Charlotte to see why every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
Excuse me, garçon. I'll pick up the tab for the lady and I.
Sir, this is Monopoly money.
And there's more where that came from.
I'm calling the cops.
Don't waste your time. I have a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Start playing for real money. New Monopoly scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery have real cash wins of up to $1 million. Monopoly is a trademark of Hasbro. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.83 to 4.28. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
This is a special alert to all the
Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Getting more as a MyLowe's Pro Rewards member is easier than ever with the Lowe's app. Download it today and earn 500 points the first time you log in. Plus, your digital wallet helps you scan, save, earn, and access what you need to manage it all in one place. Download the Lowe's app and take advantage of your Pro benefits today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid 12/1/25 through 1/7/26. Offer valid for first login per organization only. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Additional restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
Stuck in a job that just isn't getting it done? Maybe it's time to go for IT. Whether you're just starting out, switching careers, or a military veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you launch a rewarding career in IT in months. No prior experience needed. Why spend years getting a traditional degree when your future in IT can start right now? Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Your most powerful upgrade? Your career. Go for it. Go for IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Young takes the snap. Rams rush 4. Young fires a strike over the middle to Jalen Coker. First down at the 49-yard line of Carolina. Bryce delivers. Coker comes through again.
We have seen the Rams' best football, and they've been playing amazing. And I said, no one's seen our best yet. And while they still made yards and they still did things, our best football is still out there in front of us, and that's our goal, is to find it.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. We have a blind ranking coming your way, but first, two bits of news for in-state college football action. We'll start with the, I would say, less exciting, but potentially more meaningful long-term. ESPN's Pete Thamel has reported that ECU is expected to hire North Texas offensive coordinator, his name Jordan Davis, as their offensive coordinator for the Pirates, for ECU. For those of you that don't know, North Texas had one of the best passing offenses in the country this year. And Jordan Davis has spent his entire career learning and coaching on the staff of Eric Morris, who is seen as one of the best offensive quarterback minds in the country. Just took the Oklahoma State head coaching job. So Jordan Davis going to the Pirates. Also, Pete Thamel reporting, Duke redshirt junior offensive tackle Brian Parker II leaving school early and declaring for the NFL draft.
Good on him.
He tells ESPN.
Good on him.
They have him projected as a potential day 2 pick, and he's Mel Kiper's number 10 tackle in the 2026 draft. Third-team All-American according to the Associated Press. I'll put just a little like, hey, don't be surprised if out there. He's listed at Mel Kiper's 10th tackle. Don't be surprised if suddenly he's popping up on lists as an interior offensive lineman, and that moves him up the draft boards a little bit. He's got a lot of former Duke tackle / first-round pick of the Bucs interior offensive lineman Graham Barton in his game, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's a similar deal once teams, and no offense to Mel Kiper, he's not an NFL team, start making it known how they see him at the next level. But I believe it'll be interior just based on some physical attributes, and he'll be really good at it.
Plug-and-play starter.
Yeah.
Plug-and-play starter on a team in the NFL.
And there were games earlier this year where Graham Barton, due to injuries, bumped out and replaced Tristan Wirfs at left tackle. He went from starting center to playing starting left tackle for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and did a pretty good job at it, and then bumped back in when Tristan Wirfs got back. It sounds a lot like what Brian Parker might be able to do like 3-4 years from now. So credit to him. Really good career at Duke. Saw the ups and downs in a lot of different ways. And fun fact, I'm just all about the fun facts today.
Mm-hmm.
first cousin of Derek Lively, the lottery pick basketball player that was in his same recruiting class at Duke. Their moms are sisters, I believe. We talked with Brian Parker about it at ACC kickoff this year.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. 7-footer and what I believe will be a future, probably early day 2 draft pick. It's a pretty talented athletic family. There you go. So that's just a little bit of updating on some news in the college football world in the state of North Carolina. Now let's get to the blind ranking.
All right, Tim, for today's blind ranking, we got 3 weeks left in the NFL season.
We do.
Just blind ranking Super Bowl contenders. I'm going to give you 5 NFL teams, one at a time. You got to slot them in 1 through 5, and what you believe, Tim, their chances of actually winning the Super Bowl.
All right.
All right, sir, are you ready?
Well, yeah, this is a weird year.
I know.
I'm just putting some teams that would normally just slot into like number 1 or number 2 might miss the playoffs entirely. So, yes, I will try. I will do my best. That's all I can promise.
All right, let's start off with the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills. They definitely have the greatest ace in the hole kind of remain, right? With Mahomes hurt, who knows if Lamar Jackson's going to end up making it. Josh Allen is looking like the premier of that kind of elite group of quarterbacks. Obviously, Stafford, Drake May are playing well, but I don't put them in that same category. So that gives you a pretty. I'll put Buffalo second.
Okay, Buffalo at 2.
And you might as well just put Josh Allen second.
Okay.
Not to say like James Cook and some of these guys some of their defensive players aren't good. Just so much of what they do depends on Josh Allen being Superman. And for the most part, he's been able to do it.
All right, let's go with the team they just beat this past Sunday, the New England Patriots.
Patriots, I think they, and I've said this in a bunch of different platforms because I think the hype got a little ahead of them. And I think that goes for Drake May as well. I'm still very high on both as a future pick, but I think this is the year they learn the hard lessons, right? They, like any great contender that enters a window, there's that, they got to smash their head against the wall a few times and go, we should stop smashing our head against that wall, right? You got to learn about the postseason, figure out what it takes to win, maybe lose a heartbreaker. So I'll put New England 4, even though, they're winning quite a bit if you take out this kind of dramatic come-from-behind victory they gave up to Buffalo this weekend.
Okay, so where'd you slot them in at?
4.
All right, so you put the Buffalo Bills at 2, you put the New England Patriots at 4, which brings up the next team we have here on this list, the Green Bay Packers.
I'm high on Green Bay, and I have been. I think it hurts that Micah Parsons got hurt.
Yeah, it stinks.
Like when I respect teams when they make the all-in, we're going for it move. And that's exactly what that was. That was, we're all in and we're going for it. We're paying him. We'll figure it out later. Jordan Love, Toyotathon Jordan Love is a great player. I'll put him 3. For most of the year, they would have been my 1. I had a weird good feeling about them, and I fear that I'm never going to get to find out if I was right because if you take Micah Parsons is the guy that seals it, right? He's the guy that gets the sack when the other team has the ball down 4 with 80 seconds to go, and he ends it. And if you take that away, I'm not sure they get off the field.
All right, next one that we have here. So I gave you the Buffalo Bills, you put them at 2. I gave you the New England Patriots, you put them at 4. I gave you the Green Bay Packers, you put them at number 3. So you have number 1 and number 5 available. For the next team on this list, that would be the Denver Broncos.
Broncos are good.
Darn good defense.
Very good. I'm not a huge believer in Bo Nix. I wish I did more research into whatever RJ Harvey was dealing with as a injury. This is tough. I think I will feel. I don't know why I always do this. I always leave myself 1 in 5.
Yeah.
It's self-sabotage is what it is. Put them 5.
Okay.
Again, they're another team. I don't think they are bad. I think they're very good. I think they still have some hard lessons to learn. They might be a year or 2 away, assuming they can kind of keep the band together from true contenderdom.
All right, so you put the Bills at 2. You put the Patriots at 4. You put the Green Bay Packers at 3. You put the Denver Broncos at 5, leading the number 1 slot in Super Bowl contenders on this blind ranking.
I have 3 teams I feel okay with.
Okay, well, is one of those teams the Philadelphia Eagles?
That works. That's
Okay.
fine. I'm completely okay with that. They were number 3 of the 3, but they were one of the 3. I wanted Rams, Seahawks, or Eagles there in order to feel okay about this list. I mean, the Eagles, I don't want to put them in this category, okay? So I want to be very clear here. This discussion is not of the same quality. It's just an analogy. Do you remember watching The Last Dance, the Jordan final? That documentary, and it was like, oh, they were a circus until the postseason, and then they all remembered, like, oh, we have championship DNA. They locked in, and they went and won another championship. I'm getting a little bit of the same vibe from the Eagles, where it's like they've made it to 2 Super Bowls. They won a Super Bowl. They're the defending Super Bowl champion. They are a circus this year. What's happening with Saquon? Why is A.J. Brown mad? Jalen Hurts just gave us another, like, Confucius quote. What is going on? Nick Sirianni, what's happening? I do wonder if they're just not going to lock in once the postseason starts and look like the Eagles that we've come to know. They haven't recently, but I'm fine with them being number 1.
There it is.
I'm okay with that. This is one of my betters. This is one of my better blind rankings. No disrespect to the Broncos, but you had to be sacrificed in order to make it make sense. You gave me some good teams, though. Everyone there is probably in the top, 8 to 10 as far as Super Bowl odds. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're going to have to quickly hit this one, so be ready to roll. Let's get to her cons and cons.
But to play great defense, you need one thing above all else.
That starts with a W.
Confidence.
What are you most concerned about? What are you most confident in for the Carolina Hurricanes? And keep in mind, in about 3 minutes, we will have first goal scorer predictions, so start getting ready to dial in and come up with your who will score the first goal for the Canes and in what period answers. Dennis, what are you most concerned about when it comes to the Carolina Hurricanes?
My concern is right now is number 1, it's the goaltending situation, just in the sense of, are the wheels going to fall off the bus? For lack of a better term, like, we just don't know, because
it's not a prediction; it's a concern.
It's just a concern.
Yeah.
We just don't know, plain and simple. And then obviously the injuries that we've seen with Anderson and Kochetkov, they've been subpar so far this season from what we would expect. So it's a concern.
Mine is stone cold scores. Mm-hmm. There have been 3 things that have been on my wish list forever for the Canes. Goalie, second line center, and just an unconscious scorer. Just a volume shooter. They haven't really tried in major ways to make the big move to solve goalie or second line center. But they've tried twice on pretty major swings since I've taken over this show to find that wing unconscious scorer, right? The Gensel 40 goal. Obviously, Mikko Rantanen and all of the circus that was. So I think they kind of agree with me. They know they need that unconscious scorer. They've tried a few times, and they still don't have it. And until they do, I think it's going to be a concern of mine, because they'll go on these weird streaks where just they have a hard time finding the back of the net, even though they have so many playmakers. Somebody's got to finish the play, not just make it. And that's kind of what I'm worried about. Although, sometimes in the postseason, Svetch wakes up and he handles that, or somebody will go on a hot streak, but I want it more. What are you confident about? What's the most confident thing you have in the Carolina Hurricanes?
Eric Tulsky ain't afraid to make a move.
There it is.
He's not. The fact that they were in on Quinn Hughes and not just be like, so, Quinn, what are you guys thinking? No, it was here's an offer. And apparently a pretty substantial one, too. Obviously, Minnesota put in a pretty darn good package. Yeah. But the fact that they were in on it, the dude ain't afraid to make moves.
There's 2 things about Eric Tulsky. He's not afraid to make moves, and he tends to stick to his guns.
Oh, yeah.
Meaning, I think as a GM, I'll just say my confidence is Eric Tulsky as well, because I want to talk about Eric Tulsky more. As a GM, I think I would struggle with feeling like already putting a player in a trade on my roster. Mm-hmm. Like, if I make a big-time offer for Quinn Hughes, in my mind, he's already a Carolina Hurricane. So when they come back and say, Minnesota won up to you, I'd be like, fine, what do you need? Another first. Like, I he's already, I don't think you understand. I have the jersey in my brain. Eric Tulsky is involved in every big trade, and he walks away from most of them, right? Which means he gets to whatever his limit is, whatever he thinks the player is worth, And if the player goes for more than that, or if they don't want to play ball at that price, fine. We'll go amongst our other ways. If they accept, great. Come on, Gensel. Come on. I guess Gensel would have been previous GM, but come on, Mikko Rantanen. Come on, whoever it is. He's not afraid, and he's also more disciplined, which is wildly important for that job. I saw somebody said, I made the comment on Twitter, like I often do, that he must just be on his phone all the time. He's in every conversation. And two jokes kind of made me laugh. One was somebody went old school and said, I hope he has free nights and weekends, which, right, people of a certain age will remember the nights and weekends free minutes on your cell phone. Mm-hmm. And then someone else said, ET phone everyone.
ET phone everyone.
I was like, well played. Phone ... everyone. And he does.
By the way, for everyone that wants Tage Thompson, which I believe this show is also included on that, Buffalo did fire Kevin Adams, their general manager. And don't be shocked if Lindy Ruff, their head coach, is gone too. If Buffalo's blowing it up, there's going to be a bidding war.
Is Eric Stahl still involved over there?
He might be. I don't know.
If Eric Stahl is the main decision maker.
I mean, let's go.
Let's go, Eric. What are we doing here?
Do one for the team.
What are we doing here?
Bring a cup home, Eric.
Don't put any collusion in writing, but talk to your brother a little bit. See what he's thinking.
Yeah, allowed to do that.
Yeah, you're allowed to talk to your brother.
Of course.
Holidays are coming up.
Yeah.
All right, the drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9.
What's your confidence?
Mike, I said I'll go with Eric Tulsky as well, just because I wanted to talk about him more. I had something else, but we're up against it. So let's go to first goal scorer prediction. Who scores the first goal for the Carolina Hurricanes tonight in Nashville, and in what period do they score it? 919-860-5326. Call in now. Heister Automotive Group Hotline. 919-860-5326. We'll take 3 official contestants on air, and you'll go for ultimate bragging rights. Who scores the first goal, and in what period do they score it? Canes only. 919-860-5326. While Dennis fields those calls, I'll update you on the 99.9 The Fan personality choices. Everybody thus far that we've locked in their pick is on special teams. Adam Gold, host of the Adam Gold Show, says Jordan Martinook in the first period, short-handed goal with Keandre Miller in the box. Victoria, the producer of the Adam Gold Show, has Nikolai Ehlers in the first. On the power play, has McCarron in the box. She didn't have to make that prediction, but we appreciate more details. Nikolai Ehlers, the pick for Paul Ihander, host of Next Up with Paul Ihander. Weekday mornings here on 99.9 The Fan. Ehlers in the first. You guessed it, on the power play. And then Max Gorin produces Next Up. Also had been on this show a few times in the last couple of days. First period for Jordan Stahl on the power play as Stahl, the power play wizard, continues to keep up. Let's go to the call-in line. We just had someone drop, so if we only get to 2 today, we get to 2 today. So we'll go straight to line 2. Steve in Clayton. Who scores the first goal?
What's going on?
Not much. We're just looking for first goal scorer predictions. What do you have for us?
You got it. I'm going to go with the other smart people. Go with Ehlers in the first.
Ehlers in the first. Any other details?
Nothing too fancy. It's one of those where you kind of just see it happening. You see him headed that way, it's definitely going to go.
All right. Almost happens in slow motion. We'll lock you in, Steve. Appreciate it. We go to Brian in Holly Springs. Brian in Holly Springs, you are up next.
All right. Well, I agree with your first caller, so I'm going to go with Jarvis because he's also hot. It's going to be in the first period, but it's just going to be a standard 5-on-5.
Okay. Even strength for Jarvis. I've told people a lot, if you just want to be right the most often, Jarvis in the first is probably a pretty good selection. So, Brian in Holly Springs, thank you very much. You are locked in. We had the caller drop, and we don't have a ton of time because we have CanesMas coming up. So we'll let that one rock. But we do need to hear from Dennis. Dennis, first goal scorer prediction. What do you have for us?
Nashville on the road, few days off between games. Who's the guy that's going to drag you into the fight early and set the tone for your team? It's going to be the Stahl line. Give me Carrier.
Oh.
Give me Carrier in this one in the first period. He's actually been playing quite well.
I was just going to try to find it quickly. Somebody on social media, one of the very first, we got a ton of Aho. People are trying to will Aho into the points category, but goal category especially. A ton of Aho, and then somebody did mix in Carrier in the first and basically said exactly what you said. Like, Becker on Twitter said Carrier in the first because he seems to be on a roll lately.
Yeah, I think he's playing well.
There you go. So you're right there. Mine, I don't think I've seen this one, and we should not go many games or any games without him having a prediction somewhere. Gosh, there's a ton of Aho on Twitter. I'm going Svech.
All right.
Svech in the first. Not on the power play. We'll go even strength with it, and it's just an old school. Have me yelling at my television. Why don't you do that every time? Svech play. Little maybe somebody bounces off him as he barrels down the center of the ice, and then finishes one. So Svech in the first. As I said, there's a ton of Aho predictions mixed in. Maybe a Jackson Blake, some Ghost love. A little bit of Ehlers. Here's a poll on Twitter. Gave us a chatty. Threads won through deep in the first. I mentioned Carrier. Stall power play, still a very popular pick. But there's again, a lot of Aho picks today.
We have a Taylor Hall in the first period. We have a Svech in the second. We have Aho first shift breakaway.
That'd be lovely.
That would be awesome as well. We also have a Jacob Slavin.
Hey.
We also have Jacob Slavin in the first period as well.
He didn't score in the first two games, right? It'd be his first of the year.
It would be his first of the year. We also have a Jarvis first goal scorer as well. Let's see. We also have.
Oh, here's Aho first goal. Puck is going to accidentally hit off his leg and go in. That's the only way he scores nowadays.
Hey, goal's a goal. I don't care. I don't care how it goes in. Goal's a goal.
We have a janky pick.
There you go.
Blake in the first on the power play. A lot of power play picks. Taylor Hall on a rebound. As always, if you get it right, we'll give you your just due. But right now, let's celebrate a little 10 days of CanesMas, shall we? We'll open up the phone lines. We need caller number 10 for 10 days of CanesMas, presented by Hardee's. Cozy up to the goodness of Hardee's, new grilled cheese bacon burger and breakfast sandwich, as well as Surfside vodka. Whether you're watching hockey or warming up by the fire, there's nothing better than enjoying your favorite Surfside canned cocktail to keep the good times going. Caller number 10 will win a CanesMas gift. Call in now, 919-860-5326. I'll give you that number in one more time in just a second. But first, I want to tell you all about Miller Lending. Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending, the home of the no-cost loan. Maybe this holiday season, you're going to have everybody get together and you're going to realize your house is a little too small, you need to upsize, and you don't want to wait around for interest rates to drop. You want your house and you want it now. Well, if that's the case, call Gordon Miller and Miller Lending. Talk to them about a no-cost loan. That way, if rates fall from where they are now in the near future or in the distant future, if you still have the same mortgage, you refinance with no closing costs, no cost, and do that as many times as you need to just lower that monthly payment each time. Gives you the flexibility to get the house you want now, get the mortgage you want now, and take advantage of rates as they fall in the future. It's something called a no-cost loan with Miller Lending. Give them a call to learn more, 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377, or visit them online at millerlending.com. Once again, that's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146. I did say we need caller number 10 for the CanesMas giveaway. 919-860-5326 is the number to call. Somebody's winning a Canes gift up next, and we'll hear from our resident NFL insight expert, Mike Glennon, coming up next.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and Nashville.
Coming in on Thompson, Jarvis, Deeks, what a goal!
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 7:30. Puck drop at 8.
Bussy becomes the first goalie in NHL history with 10 wins in his first 11 games played.
10-1. On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why
why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Here's Brandon with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Tired of waiting for a sleep treatment? At other sleep centers, it can take 6 to 8 months just to get an appointment and cost you thousands more. Not Parkway Sleep Health Centers. We schedule you within weeks and we'll save you money too. We have over 20 years of experience serving the Triangle. Let our expert team help you sleep better sooner.
End your sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friend Dr. Lori Travers and Travers LASIK, the only LASIK specialist in the Triangle. And my whole goal in life is to make your life easier. That's right, maybe more enjoyable too. So if you are a contact lens or glasses wearer, ditch them like I did. 5 minutes per eye, utterly painless, and I just wake up and go every day. Get rid of the cost, get rid of the hassle. That's right, the hassle of contact lenses and glasses. 919-510-6830, TraversLASIK.com.
Merry CanesMas, everybody out there. It is the 8th day of CanesMas, the 10 days of CanesMas. Once again, presented by Hardee's. Get the Hardee's app and join my rewards right now and get hand-breaded chicken tenders, BOGO, every Tuesday through June 2026. CanesMas also presented by Surfside Vodka. Whether you're watching hockey or warming up by the fire, there's nothing better than enjoying your favorite Surfside canned cocktail to keep the good times going. The 10th caller for today, Tommy in Cary. Tommy, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right. Merry CanesMas to you, Tommy. If you've been listening, you know you'd have to answer one very simple Carolina Hurricanes trivia question in order to receive your CanesMas gift. Are you ready to answer?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
All right. Who is the coach of the Carolina Hurricanes?
Oh, that's Mr. Rod Brindamore.
That is correct. Also, don't give me such a unconfident sounding first, because you had me nervous. I was like, oh no, this guy's going to have a brain freeze and we're not going to be able to give him the prize. But you came through. You gave us Rod Brindamore. That is the correct answer, which means I get to reach into the magical red hat here and pull out a slip of paper with a gift written on it, and I have it. Yep, I have one. Want to make sure it wasn't accidentally two. Your CanesMas gift is a Canes Bluetooth speaker. Congratulations. Merry CanesMas.
All right. Thank you very much.
Merry CanesMas to you. Stay on the line so Dennis can grab the info to make sure your speaker finds its way into your possession. I think I said, of course. I think I said this last time we gave away the Bluetooth speaker. We almost used it just because, in a hilarious turn of events, we were having some holiday festivities around the office, and despite being a radio company, where we were didn't have speakers, and we wanted some holiday music until someone remembered that we are a radio company and went into the storage closet and pulled out the big ones, the real amplified speakers. But we almost were like, hey, let's just use one of these. But no, hasn't been out of the box. Tommy gets a brand new Bluetooth Canes speaker. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, has 2 more days of CanesMas, so tune in tomorrow and Friday, and you might earn or win a CanesMas gift. Merry CanesMas to you all, and get ready for my conversation from earlier today with Mike Glennon, NC State legend and longtime NFL quarterback. We talk Phillip Rivers and much more right here, right now. The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Time for our weekly check-in with Mike Glennon, our insight into what it's like to be a Pack legend and a 10-year NFL veteran quarterback. Speaking of Pack legends and much more than 10-year NFL veterans, I don't even know, like, this gives him like a 25-year career. Phillip Rivers.
We're back, baby. QBU.
Phillip Rivers, Jacoby Brissett playing well.
Jacoby Brissett's playing about as good as any quarterback in the NFL right now.
At the beginning of the year, if you would have told me an NC State quarterback was lighting it up or playing meaningful football down the stretch, and it wouldn't be Russell Wilson, it would be Phillip Rivers and Jacoby Brissett. You probably could have got good odds on that one. But how do you explain the Phillip Rivers situation? It's exciting, it's fun, everybody's loving it. He's out there, golly darning his way through an NFL game. How did we get here?
It's wild. I saw him 2 weeks ago at the NC State Carolina game where he's dad and coach bringing his son and his other players, to the game, and then a week and a half later, he's working out for the Colts, and I just find it bizarre. The age is one thing. I don't think it's that crazy. I mean, we saw Tom Brady do it. Aaron Rodgers isn't
he's
that
not
much
he's not
younger.
Exactly.
Has he been throwing NFL routes? No, but I'm sure every day at practice he's throwing the ball around. The thing to me was, how do you deal with the speed of the game, the anticipation, all of that? That's hard to do. When I took, I was out of the league for almost a year, went back to the Dolphins. My first practice was rough. Like every outbreaker I was throwing, behind the guy. It came back, a couple days. That's not easy to do. And overall, I thought the command he had was incredible. Like he looked like he had been in that offense all year long. Granted, it's the same offense he had run forever when he was with the Chargers and with the Colts. But I thought he did a good job. He didn't have many mistakes. Kept him in the game the whole time. Now, I don't think there was a whole lot of mustard on those balls. There wasn't much pace to it. But look, at the end of the day, the defense played great, and he gave him a chance to win.
I talk often about there are a ton of quarterbacks, in the NFL that I would love to see play with more bleep it, and you'd think this would be the ultimate situation where his legacy's intact. Who cares? He's 44, but Phillip's always kind of been the guy playing with all the bleep it. Did it change at all? Did Phillip look different outside of? Yeah, I mean some of those, some of the real NFL throws, just he lollipopped him.
It was, to me, it was just he didn't push the ball down the field, and he didn't necessarily need to. They were running the ball well. They were playing with a lead, so he was just taking the easy completion. I thought the coaches did a great job with the game plan, not asking too much of him. I don't know if he can play with that complete mentality, just because it's hard for him to push the ball down the field. I mean, it just didn't come out of the hands like it once did. It wasn't bad per se. It just wasn't what we're used to seeing out of him. So we'll see how it goes this week. I think they have to play with a lead, because if they get down by 2 possessions or more, it's going to be hard for him, because he's going to have to then push the ball down the field and have that mentality. And I just don't know if the arm can do it.
We're talking with Mike Glennon here in studio on The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. I want to look at the Panthers quickly here. Last week just can't happen, right? They played the New Orleans Saints, who, by the way, like Tyler Shuck, they've got some things working there. Olave's a good player, whatever. They win that game, they're 1 win away from the playoffs, right? They win this week. If they won last week against the Saints, they'd be playing the Bucs this week, knowing a win puts them in the playoffs, which is outlandish based on where they've been in previous years. To lose that game, what can that do to the locker room?
I don't think much, because the Bucs lost as well. I think it would have been, and I know the Bucs played on Thursday night, so they already knew what the situation was. But you have one of those games, and it's like, well, at least the Bucs lost too. We it's almost like a get out of jail free card. Like, okay, now we just have 2 more opportunities to do this rather than 4. I think we gave away one here, and we'd feel a lot better. End of the day, we still control our destiny. I think that's the message in the locker room from the coaches is, look, we still win 2 of these last 3 we're in. So nothing has changed in that regard. It's just, maybe their easiest win, they didn't make it happen.
I don't know if I've seen something like this, and I'm sure it's happened. It's just, you get laser focused on the teams you cover. They going back to a couple months ago, they win at the Jets, ugly win, but a win. They get smoked by Buffalo the next week. So it's like, they were 3-game win streak. Granted, Bryce wasn't playing, but with Andy Dalton, they get smoked by Buffalo. So high to low. They go to Lambeau. They beat Green Bay in a gritty game where the defense locks up Jordan Love and that explosive offense. Super high. Next week, all the way back down. They lose to the Saints, a team that it was even worse then than they are now. Following week, break the passing record in a single game in Panthers history in a win against the Falcons. Everybody's high. Next week, Monday Night Football, everyone watches them stink against the Niners. Following week, they beat the Rams, maybe the best team in the NFL. Everybody's high. Next week, boom, they had a bye. And then yesterday, they lose to the Saints. I mean, like, it's predictably unpredictable. Like, they should play well against the Saints or against the Bucs this week, win the game. Everybody's going to be high. Sam Darnold will light them up. And like, is that just in their DNA to, like, drink their own Kool-Aid and play bad?
I'm sure it's frustrating for the coaches, and they probably don't have an answer for it. But, again, the message is, look, this isn't the first time we lost a game we should have won, and look how we've responded the next week. And I think let's get back to that brand of football. So that's what I'm doing if I'm Dave Canales. I'm pointing to the, who they lose to before the Rams?
It would have been the Niners on Monday night.
Right. Look. 3 weeks ago, we lost to the Niners on Monday night, got blown out all the way across the country, came back and beat maybe the best team in the NFL in the Rams. Last week, Saints wasn't our best effort. Let's get ready to play against the Bucs just like we did the Rams.
Rookie walls. Where do you stand on that? How real are they? Because Tetero McMillan over the last two has been significantly less productive than he had been, and he had been trending upwards in a big way.
I do remember my first year to really every year I thought about it, but the first couple was like right around that Thanksgiving marker was a little bit of a reality. Like, oh my gosh, college football season's over, and we're basically just a little past the halfway mark. Like, the NFL season is long, especially 17 games. And I think every player is different, probably both physically and mentally. Is he banged up at all? That obviously is going to make it feel like a longer season. Mentally, I mean, it is a grind. The week in, week out of the NFL was a lot more on the quarterback than the receiver. But it also could just be by having a stance that, whether defenses are doing or just the way, the ball ended up, guys, the read took Bryce to a different place in that game. So you never really know with receivers. I think is a bigger deal amongst quarterbacks than probably some of the other positions.
Last question here before we let you go. And Mike and I do co-host Pack Therapy, the podcast, NC State football podcast. New episode we recorded today. Check it out everywhere podcasts can be found. We need an if-then statement. We talked about on the podcast that nobody is expected to know everything about Memphis, the NC State opponent in the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl Friday at 2:30 p.m. But it is the NC State team that we know, right? Most of, if not all, the players that we expect. No opt-outs, no going pros, at least nothing that we've seen yet. Most of the coaching staff, if not all the coaching staff, in their places. So if blank happens, then NC State will win the Gasparilla Bowl, punch that 8 wins on the season, and go into the offseason with momentum.
So the NC State defense has been something we've kind of talked about all year as one of the weaker parts of the team. They've been playing better as of late. So I'm going to put it on the offense. If C.J. Bailey throws for 3 touchdowns, NC State wins this game.
I never played in a bowl. By the way, shout out to my Delaware Blue Hens in a bowl game for the first time today, first year in FBS. Is there a let's put on a show element of a bowl? Like, are you drawing up the trick plays and you making sure C.J. Bailey gets the opportunity to razzle dazzle?
I think you add a little bit of fun to it. It's like
you have more time to prep.
Yeah, it's a feel good. It is a great feeling to win a bowl game and then get ready for the next year or the seniors, last game or whatever. This year, probably even more so. It's like they get to do Christmas at home. Most of my bowl games we do Christmas at the bowl game because we were playing around that time. So I think it's a good feeling to, you can have a little bit more fun with the game plan. You're not really worried about, saving plays or any of that. It's like cut it loose. We got nothing to lose and have good feelings heading into the offseason.
That, again, the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl for State taking on Memphis Friday at 2:30. Cutting it loose a little bit. Mike, appreciate you.
Thanks, Tim.
Once again, Mike Glennon joining the show here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. There's only one thing left to do, and that's get ready for the starting 5 because it's coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
The The Adam Gold Show.
I have no idea how the whole thing's going to play out. We've seen goaltenders come in and be good for short stretches. Remember Spencer Martin. This Brandon Bussey experience, though, might be a little bit different than that. Maybe he is just a late bloomer. Maybe he is part of the solution to what is ailing Carolina in goal. Let's ride the bus.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
Genie log, day 15,824. The Powerball jackpot is over $1 billion now. I'll be stuck in this little lamp forever with nothing but all this stupid gold and rare gems. A gold-plated motorcycle? Sure does a lot of good when you live in a 10x10 magic lamp. Come find me. I'm at latitude 36.06.
Grant your own wishes. The Powerball jackpot is over $1 billion. Must be 18 to play. Approximate jackpot odds are 1 in 293 million. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Dallas Spruill from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. Do you want to wish me a Merry Christmas? Is that why you're here?
Merry Christmas, Adam. Glad to be here.
Anybody else? Anybody more important than me? Of course, everybody more important than me.
It's this time of the year where it's time to celebrate with friends and family. And from all of your good friends at the Aluminum Company in North Carolina, I'd like to wish everyone a happy holidays, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year.
All right. Now, hopefully my roof is suitable for Santa, but if people don't have roofs that are suitable for Santa, you guys can help.
We can help them, whether it's metal, flat, rubber, shingles. We got the best warranties in the industry, and we'd love to help you out.
And Santa will land perfectly and take off perfectly from the roof. Aluminumcompany.com online. Dallas Spruill is there. Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Merry Christmas. Visit us on the web at aluminumcompany.com.
Hey guys, this is Marcy Bailey from Bailey's Fine Jewelry, and we know that you want to get your wife or girlfriend something special this Christmas, but sometimes you just don't know what to get. You wonder, what will she like? What will make her feel special? What will make her say, wow? At Bailey's Fine Jewelry, we have experts that are here to help. We specialize in making you look like a hero. You can even send her in to make a wish list that we keep on file to help make your life just a little bit easier. Bailey's has the largest selection of jewelry in North Carolina, including designers like David Yurman, Lagos, Marco Biccigo, and Apolita, as well as beautifully curated Bailey's collections. And don't fret, because if for some reason she doesn't love your gift, we have a 30-day return policy. Our goal is to be your go-to jeweler for life. Bailey's Fine Jewelry, located in Raleigh's Village District, Cary's Fenton, also in Rocky Mount, Greenville, and Charlotte. Every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Kat Campbell. Mostly cloudy skies, lock-ins, and milder temperatures for us tonight. The low staying above freezing at 37 degrees. Heading into tomorrow, you'll need to have your rain gear. Rain moves in during the afternoon and sticks around into the night. High temperatures near 60 degrees, but we hit that number later than normal.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. The Dow Jones this afternoon down today at the closing bell, down 228 points to 47,885.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. By the way, it is a hockey night in Carolina, which means the Canes are playing tonight. And you can hear that game right here on 99.9 The Fan. And you can hear it on the 99.9 The Fan app. So download the app. Google Play Store, Apple Store, whatever store you go to for your apps. Download it, 5-star rating, positive reviews. and then enjoy. Then you can just take the Canes and the broadcast and Mike Maniscalco, Trip Tracy, Adam Gold, everybody right there in your pocket. And we'd greatly appreciate it. So check it out. With that being said, it is 5 o'clock, and that means it is time for the starting five, starting with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Carolina Panthers back at practice today. We're learning a little bit about some injuries here, right? It's that time of year where maybe everybody is a little banged up, but maybe some things to pay attention to here. Things like Ike Ekwonu, starting left tackle, told the media earlier today that he underwent an MRI on his knee after experiencing discomfort. This comes from Joe Person of The Athletic. Early in the Saints game, he declined to divulge what the diagnosis was and said he'll do everything he can to play against the Bucs.
Did finish the game. Dave Canales did say today, day-to-day.
Yeah, he DNP at practice.
Yes, did not practice. But day-to-day monitoring him.
Tedero McMillan, again, a guy that played and he's playing through it, revealed that there's some foot ankle issues that maybe have been going on for the last few games, and got rolled up on against, or this has come from Canales. He also got rolled up on again against the Saints. But despite the DNP, the hope is to get him back tomorrow. So he didn't practice today. But again, this time of year, everybody's dealing with something. They're hoping it's something that he can play through. Damian Lewis did not practice with an illness.
Yes, illness for Damian Lewis.
And Turk Wharton's still dealing with the hamstring.
Yes. By the way, real quick note, Tedero McMillan did say, as long as I can go on Sunday, I'm good.
Right.
So it seems like he, like you said, something he's playing through.
But perhaps, right, because it's a tale as old as time. And if, and this isn't about my fantasy team, but if you played fantasy, you know exactly what's going on. Tale as old as time is somebody tails off the last 6 weeks of the season, and you're like, goodness gracious, cost me a wit. You don't say that out loud. You yell that into a void that they will never hear, hopefully, if you're cool. And then you learn right after the season, he's getting I'm not saying this about Tedero McMillan. This is a generic situation. He's getting a scope on his knee. He's been dealing with it for 6 weeks. And you're like, I knew it. Why didn't you tell me? I would have had you on the bench. Sometimes you got to play through it for your team, and just having you out there is good for the offense, right? You attract attention. They can use you in different ways, your skill set. But you might not be the player that you are when you're 100%. Again, not saying that's happening for any of the Panthers. It's just something that I've seen happen in the NFL a bunch, where it's like, geez, he really fell off. And then you realize, he's been playing with a sprained AC joint or something. And it's just the way it is. Anything else that I'm missing as far as news from practice today?
That's really about it.
Cool.
In terms of news today at practice and just regarding the health and status. Some guys, like, for example, J.C. Horn got a limited rest day today. Trevin Wallace, full participant, still dealing with a shoulder injury. Taylor Moton, the starting right tackle, limited back issue. Something to keep in mind as well. But, yeah, they didn't come out of the Saints game with an entirely clean bill of health.
Side note, there's a Pro Football Talk report out there that the NFL admitted to messing up the replay review on the Tedero McMillan catch late in the game. Personal choice, Dennis. Just from would you want to know or would you not want to know?
I wouldn't want to know. Probably not. Like, you know what? It's done with. Don't tell me after the fact. Because then I start doing the what if game, and just don't tell me. Just don't tell me.
My thing is, it's not worth telling if you're not going to do makeup calls, and makeup calls are awful, so don't tell me, right? Like, unless it's like, hey, next time you can drop one and we'll give it to you. Like, then I don't want to know that you owe me one, because there's no way you can pay off the owe me one. It's bad call. It's just bad call. It exists in bad call land, and I'm just going to get mad about it. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
Carolina can't get in transition, so they go in the half court, and Wilson throws it down. He puts the poster on Morris on that one.
So we talked earlier today. UNC beat East Tennessee State, did so by nearly 20 points, right? Kind of what you expect. Men's basketball. Started slow, did UNC, but came on in the second half, won the game, leaned on their big guys, Caleb Wilson, Henry Vasar, combined for 46 points. one of the things I'm tracking for UNC is point guard play. I think there's a really good chance that whether UNC reaches their immense ceiling or not comes down to, in the biggest games, do they have a point guard ready to play contender level basketball? That is still up for grabs, right? And I think the two most likely contenders are Kyan Evans, who's kind of been the starter, and Derek Dixon, who at times has earned more role off the bench. Although they could be creative, right? They could mix in a Seth Trimble bringing the ball up the court. They could try to go big and see if Luka Bogovac could be like a giant-sized point guard. There's other options. Against East Tennessee State, Kyan Evans played more than Derek Dixon and had 6 assists in the game. It's really hard to judge because I do think we are all kind of Steph Curry-ified and when it comes to basketball, where like I want my point guard to score 30. Like I want my point guard to score more. When with this UNC team, I don't think you need that, right? You have other guys that can knock down shots. You have other guys that can obviously score down low and be the quote-unquote straws that stir the drink. You have to initiate the offense. You have to set everything up, which, by the way, if you look at the history of the best UNC teams, a lot of them have a pass-first point guard, right? There's a lot of guys that maybe, they didn't have to score 20 to control a game. That's what I would be challenging Evans and Dixon and some of these other guys that are going to have the ball in their hands coming up the court, which is kind of what Evans did against East Tennessee State. And if that sets the tone, I think I saw of the 27 made field goals for UNC, 18 were assisted. That's a good number. And if your point guard is the one initiating the ball movement and hunting for the best shot, I think that's good. So, as I often say about these mid-major games, complete your side quests, right? UNC beat East Tennessee State and get a better idea of who your point guard's going to be in big moments and get a better idea of how you want them to play in big moments. You're not going to be the main character on a team that has Caleb Wilson. He's going to be the main character. Henry Vasar is going to be the supporting actor getting the Oscar nom. Like, you have your stars. You need to figure out the ways to support them. For somebody like Luka Bogovac, it's going to be moving the basketball, knocking down shots, creating spacing. For somebody like Seth Trimble, once he's healthy, there's going to be a lot of perimeter defense on his plate that he's going to be responsible for, as well as explosive perimeter offense. For Evans, Dixon, and whoever else might play some of that point guard role, get everybody else set up, right? You're the table setter. And how well they can do that, I think, might decide whether they are a top 15 team in the country or a top 5 team in the country, right? And you may think that's a small gap. That's a big gap between, the top teams and just the really, really good teams. What number was that, 4? Let's get to number 3.
And the lead is 5, 54-49, a steal. Slim on the run with a right-hand punch.
Duke, I guess they were playing the anything you can do, I can do better game. Also started slow. Also, if you just checked the final score at the end of the game, you wouldn't know. They played against Lipscomb. Lipscomb had them on the ropes for the first, 35 minutes? Or 25 minutes, sorry.
Yeah, Lipscomb had a lead early in the second half.
And then Duke eventually, put pedal to the floor a little bit, ran away with it. Cameron Boozer ended up with 26 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists. Looked like, especially by the end, best player on the floor. The story, though, is turnovers in the first half by Duke. It's you brought it up during Dean's List. John Shire won his 100th. He got his 100th career win for Duke yesterday as a head coach. 100th career win as a head coach, right? He's obviously only been a head coach at Duke. I think it's appropriate he had to coach to earn it, right? There was no all right, I'll just use my timeouts to make subs and hang out. No, he had to I'm sure get into his team at halftime. He had to call timeouts and talk about what they were doing wrong. He had to figure out why they had the butterfingers on all of these turnovers in the first half. They had more turnovers in the first half against Lipscomb than they had in any game this season in their first 10. So it's you're not going to get your 100th career win just going through the motions. You're going to have to do some coaching here. And he did, and his team was much better at the end of the game than they were at the beginning of the game. And then after the game, he talked about the nature of those mistakes that he had to coach out of his team.
22 turnovers, I'm not going to say it's not alarming. I mean, that's very concerning. I think it's controllable and fixable, so it's not like I'm in panic mode. But look, the recipe of fouling and turning the ball over is the easiest way to lose. You know, you're just giving gifts. And so I can tell you we're going to be working on it like crazy the next 3 days. And the good part is our guys are aware of it. They know it. I think it goes into the randomness we want to play with and the freedom that we give, but then also having some structure with, there are times like you got to execute. And I thought when we executed, we scored or got a great shot almost every time. So that's something we have to help our guys with as a coaching staff.
I should turn on my microphone before I start talking. That's a mistake that we can work on and we can fix. What I was saying before I turned my mic on was the double negative at the top of that quote is I think the most, you know, I'm not going to say 22 turnovers is not alarming. It absolutely is. And good luck, coach. It's your job to figure out why your team came out so sluggish off a 10-game or a 10-day break against a team like Lipscomb, and make sure it never happens again. Because you play a first half like you played against Lipscomb about darn near anyone else on your schedule, you lose that game and you're pretty upset about it because it's not like you got beat. It's not like they were doing anything to really rattle you. You just played sloppy. You just handed it to them. I don't think, and I said this earlier, and it's no disrespect to Lipscomb, but watching the game, I don't think it was their overwhelming athleticism that was jumping into the passing lanes and forcing turnovers. It was much more on the sloppy side of Duke's play that ended up with the 22 turnovers and the whole bunch in the first half. Other than that, you know, you did the bare minimum, I guess might be the way to describe it. Cam Boozer had a good statistical day, did have all those turnovers. I believe it was still a double-double for Gumba. Let me make sure before I say that out loud. Yep, it was 10 and 11, just barely. Isaiah Evans had a good day offensively, shot over 50% from three. Like, you checked all the boxes. It's just the eye test of it and those turnovers that make you go, yikes.
Yeah, it's one of those things as well. I mean, Shire did talk about it post-game, is that you've played some of these high-intense games against these high-profile opponents, then you take 10 days off, you do the, you know, you're taking your finals and all that kind of stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, who is it? Where's Lipscomb?
That's this
that
L logo. What is this?
Yeah, so I wonder if that, I mean, I wonder if there's a little bit of that, and that's okay. It's going to happen.
Texas Tech, not that team. That's who they have next on Saturday, number 19 in the country, Texas Tech. You know who they are. And
they are good.
They got some dudes. It's a concern that I had earlier in the year, and I'm just going to bring it up once again. Their last two games against Michigan State, number 7 in the country, one of the better teams, and against Lipscomb, we've described, not the most fearful, intimidating opponent in the world. In points, rebounds, and assists, Cameron Boozer has led them in all of them. All three major categories in both games. I still think they need some other guys, and I'm not saying they haven't played great, but I'm saying you don't want to fall victim to, oh, Boozer had a bad game and one you couldn't lose, and you weren't prepared to step up in his place. So we'll see how that goes. And again, like I said, big game on Saturday against Texas Tech. If they come out and play gangbusters from the jump, everybody will forget all about the slow start against Lipscomb. That's number 3. How about number 2?
Just the two. Throws it up top, Holloman now. Gives it over high post left, Williams. Faces up. Bounces in the lane. Lubin catches, ties the game, scores.
Tonight, ACC basketball. NC State men hosting Texas Southern. 7 p.m. opening tip on that one. If we're looking at the non-conference schedule for NC State, I believe most State fans are probably a little underwhelmed. You know, the promises were lavish. The hope was electric. The Red Reckoning was coming. Will Wade, Darian Williams, all these transfer portal guys. Whoa! And they haven't really won the games that would be the headlining games of their non-conference schedule. If there is that little, you know, grain of optimism that you're going to grab onto and go, well, wait a second. Their defense has been really good the last 3 games. And for my money, the best college basketball teams that I can remember usually are known for their offense, but the further you look at their statistical production and the further you dive into really watching them, they're great defensive units, right? There's a lot of, oh, this high-flying NBA prospect, or, oh, this guy averages X amount of points and is tops in the conference. And then when you really look at what they do to win games, it's like, oh, they smother opponents and they lower the opponent's offensive efficiency down to X. Like, that's what really gets you. Since Will Wade, prior to the 3 games ago, I think it was, since he kind of lit up his team with quite a bit of criticism publicly to the voice of the Wolfpack, Matt Chazanow, they've been really good defensively. Offense, maybe not the most efficient thing in the world. Defensively, they've been really good. And that is, I believe, more slump-proof, something you can lean on more, right? You're going to have days where you miss shots. You're not necessarily – there's nothing that says you have to have days where, your defense goes away. So that's something they can lean on. And then, similarly, I think they're going to be a popular, sharps bet if you follow gambling lines. A lot of the advanced analytics still like what NC State is doing. Their net ranking seems higher than it should be for what they've done. Some of the Ken Palm stuff is really, they're that high, even though they haven't won a game against a power conference opponent. So pay attention for it, right? If it clicks, maybe it'll click in a big way. But as of, December 17th, prior to their game against Texas Southern tonight, I think most would say it's been a tad underwhelming for State this year. That number 2. How about number 1?
Go 1! Let's do that hockey.
Canes tonight at Nashville, taking on the Predators. Dennis, I'll put you on the spot. You've been haven't been on the show much. I haven't been able to give you the if-then statement, but you're back. So start of a road trip. Canes are a 4-game win streak, 3 of them consecutively, the 3 most recent in a shootout. Brandon Bussey taking the world by storm, not expected to be in net today. It'll be a Pyotr Kochetkov game. Finish this sentence, Mad Lib style.
Okay.
If blank happens, then the Canes beat Nashville and continue the win streak.
If both Alexander Nikishin and Jacob Slavin finish with a plus rating tonight, Canes win.
And they, correct me if I'm wrong, they were skating together.
Yes.
So that is not you need 2/3 of your defensive pairings to have the plus rating. Mm-hmm. They can get it done together. Let's talk about that defensive pairing specifically, especially if they skate for a decent amount of minutes together tonight. Alexander Nikishin, and you weren't here for the conversation, how they're handling him from a development standpoint is fascinating to me.
Oh, yeah.
They sat him down for a game not long ago, and Rod Brindamore said publicly, it's you got to let him know that his spot isn't guaranteed. And then scored a goal, what was it, Saturday against Philly, and then was sat down for the most of the third period, which is unusual, especially for a young defenseman with his ability who's played so many minutes. Pairing him with Jacob Slavin, if they get, that's the greenhorn, the young guy with all the tools at his disposal, and the wiliest of the wily veterans who can, control a game with seemingly his heart rate staying at resting levels for Jacob Slavin. What can it do for how they handle Alexander Nikishin skating him with Jacob Slavin? Almost like if he makes a mistake that you might have been tempted to sit him down for a period or have to teach a lesson, is if he's skating with Jacob Slavin, are you almost more inclined to go, no, put him back out there. Slavo will get him straightened out and cover for him while he figures it out. It's almost a completely different beast when you have Jacob Slavin alongside him.
I'm curious to see how long this pairing will stick together. Because, again, there's the minutes restriction on Jacob Slavin.
Yes.
And I also wonder as well is that
if that's not like a happy accident, it's also kind of a minutes limit on Alexander Nikishin because we're only putting them out there together.
I mean, potentially, but I also think that you're going to see Nikishin is going to be on that second power play unit, which it would not surprise me if that second power play unit is the first unit that's out there to start power plays, I guess you could say, because they seem like they've been the more effective unit. So he's going to get more playing time in that regard. He'll still kill penalties and stuff a little bit, but I wonder how much as well is that playing alongside Slavin is going to allow Nikishin to jump up in the play a little bit more often. Because you know that, like, oh, that guy's go over there. I can go up and jump up in on this play. Now, there are some situations where you might want to have Slavin maybe teach him in terms of, like, when you have a 3-2 lead on Saturday night, you just scored a goal to take the lead. Hey, maybe you don't need to pinch up there. I know there's some support potentially and all that kind of stuff, but maybe that's not the time to jump up the play and try and pinch when you have a 3-2 lead. Hey, you know what? I'll sit back here and be a little – but Slavin could potentially teach him those kinds of things.
And by the way, that is a conversation that happens in every sport with young, talented players because, you know, I don't pretend to know what Alexander Nikishin was like as a junior in Russia. But what I can tell you is usually when you're overwhelmingly the most talented player, you know, you score to go up 3-2, you keep the pedal to the floor, you jump it, you score again, and it's 4-2, and you have 5-2, and you're just a great player. You get to the big leagues, and suddenly it's like, hey, guess what? We were all the best in our juniors, and you know that guy was not only the best he was best in the world or whatever. It's a different beast. You got to learn, right? What risks you can take and can't take. And you're playing in an organization that plays a certain way, and you know you have to buy into that as well. But I do think it's, you know, seeing those two paired together, even if it's like uber temporary, even if it's just for one game, if they get, you know, 12, 13 minutes together, something along those lines, it could be huge for the development of Nikishin. And I'm going to continue watching how they treat Nikishin moving forward because I'm so fascinated by it. And it's so high stakes, right? If you pull the right strings, push the right buttons, and you get him to the top of his potential, you could be looking at one of the best defensemen in the NHL. But also, relationships matter. If you push the wrong button at the wrong time, who knows what that does for the future of a young player in the Carolina Hurricanes.
I think also as well, I think it's also important for us and just fans as well that we don't put too high expectations on Alexander Nikishin, because I feel like the more that we discuss him, that the more godlike that we become, like he's becoming, that it's almost like this guy is going to be the next Bobby Orr.
He has to be like Quinn McCarr. He has to be both.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. He's got to be Cale McCarr along with
Slavin's defense.
Quinn Hughes. It's just exactly with Jacob Slavin's defense. It's like, whoa, guys, like let's
he has to protect everybody on the Canes because he brings the size and the physicality.
Yeah, so he's Zdeno Chara. Like it's just, and like let's slow down a little bit with how much we are just fantasizing and projecting what we think that he could be. I'm not saying that he's not going to be a good player, but I think sometimes as well that we're elevating him and putting him on a pedestal so much that if he doesn't reach that expectation, that he's a disappointment. It's like, no, actually, I think this guy is going to be a long-term top 4 defenseman in the NHL. And that's perfectly great for a guy that you drafted in the 3rd round. That's awesome.
Yes. I mean, already
probably and I'll take
the value is over what a 3rd round pick would be. I also want to put this out there, though. I know exactly why it happens. It's because every once in a while, he does something on the ice that makes you go, goodness gracious, what could it be like if he puts it all together? Because he is, you know, so gifted physically, and he is still very young. Like, you know, every time you see him pop up in like a post-game locker room video that the team puts out, or, you know, walking into the picture of them walking up to a plane or something, he still has a baby face, right? He's still, you know, the puppy with the big paws, and you're going like, ooh, this one's going to be something. So there's just a lot of potential there. Who knows if he reaches it, but there's a lot of potential there. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We will need to grab some numbers game contestants, but first, Dennis has something he'd like to tell you.
I do. Dennis Cox here, real quick for Loan Pronto. The best financial move that you can make this time of year, how about lowering your mortgage rate to 4.99% fixed APR, the lowest rate in years? How about getting up to $500,000 out of your home equity in the process? You can do it all right now by giving Loan Pronto a call. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get a ton of cash, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and skip up to 2 house payments. One homeowner just got $300,000 approved in under 24 24 hours. They wiped out their credit cards and 2 car loans and saved $2,100 a month. Don't wait, folks. There's no hard credit pull up front, and you probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. So act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. Start the new year by wiping out all higher interest debt and lowering your bill by thousands. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 1661781. APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, needs 2 contestants for the numbers game. The prize for today, as it has been all week and will be for the rest of the week, a family 4-pack of Fandango tickets to see Avatar, Fire, and Ash, the latest in the Avatar film franchise, all at a participating theater near you, courtesy of 20th Century Studios. If you want the family 4-pack, you have to win the numbers game. If you want to win the numbers game, you have to call in now. So call on in. 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. We need 2 contestants to play the numbers game. Coming up next.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and Nashville.
Coming in on Thompson, Jarvis, Deeks, what a goal!
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 7:30. Puck drop at 8.
Bussy becomes the first goalie in NHL history with 10 wins in his first 11 games played.
10-1 on your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey. 99.9 The Fan.
Hey girl, haven't seen you downtown lately.
Nope, sticking to our go-to places.
You mean like Sharky's?
Well, we love our Sharkies. Best wings and gumbo on the planet. But we never miss the $5 sangrias on Wednesdays at the new Salt and Lime. And Mexican pints on Thursdays for $3.
You know my boy loves the House of Hops. No better selection of craft beer in the state. Loves their specials, their food trucks, and you know I love my wine. They have a wonderful selection.
And have I told you about our new takeout spot, Che Empanadas? It's right next to Sharky's. They have 20 different types of authentic Argentinian empanadas, and they are incredible, especially the breakfast ones. You've got to try it.
Sounds perfect. And how awesome is it that they're so close to each other?
Oh, it's perfect, all right.
Give them a try. Che Empanadas, House of Hops, Salt and Lime, and Sharky's. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from each other off Durham Road, Glenwood, and Grove Barton.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. We have Peter and Raleigh and Andrew and Carrie getting ready to battle it out with jersey number trivia. The winner will receive a family 4-pack of Fandango tickets to see Avatar, Fire, and Ash at a participating theater near you, courtesy of 20th Century Studios. As always, we'll bring them each onto the air, ask them the same question. Dennis will pick his favorite answer. That person will get to go first. We'll start with Peter and Raleigh. Peter, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can. How you doing?
I'm doing well. In honor, the tickets we're giving away to see Avatar, Fire, and Ash. Removing Avatar as an answer, because obviously that's the answer. Who and or what could be a character or like a I don't know, a type What is the best movie alien of all time?
I would say Predator.
Predator. All right. Dennis, any follow-up questions?
Nope.
Nope. Locked in. We'll go to Andrew and Carrie. Andrew, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Same question to you. Inspired by the tickets we're giving away to see Avatar, Fire, and Ash. Removing Avatar from the options, because obviously that's the answer. What is the best movie alien in the history of movies?
We'll go with Jabba the Hutt from Star Wars.
Jabba the Hutt. That's another good one. Dennis, any follow-ups?
None.
All right. Peter went with the Predator, and Andrew went with Jabba the Hutt. Which are you rolling with?
Both fantastic answers, by the way.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
I think there's a one seed in my head that I was thinking of, but there's a lot of good other options.
Is it E.T.?
Yeah, exactly. I thought
E.T. was might be the correct answer we're looking for, but these are both fantastic answers, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Give me... I'm going to take the Predator on this one just because of the simple fact in like the retouched up, redone versions of A New Hope, George Lucas put Jabba the Hutt in A New Hope, which he never was in the original movie, so it ruined Jabba the Hutt for me.
All right.
So give me the Predator on this one.
Do you know what other ones I was thinking of?
The alien from Alien?
No, the tiny little ones from Space Jam.
Oh, yeah, the Monstars.
But when they're little.
Of course.
Oh, man, why so mean to us? Like, those guys are hilarious. A little nostalgia there for me. So Predator was the choice, which means Peter and Raleigh gets to go first. Andrew and Carrie, don't worry, you'll have your chance. Just have to stay on hold for a second. Peter, are you ready to pick a category?
Yes, sir.
All right, the categories are NFL geographical players. This means their name has a city or a state or something geographical in it. NFL players who wrote children's books at some point in their career. NBA players born south of the equator, or NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
I'll do NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
All right. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. In this category, I will say the team, even though we know it, just to keep it fair timing-wise with every category, or with the other categories, because I have to say it for those. Do you have any questions before we get started?
No, sir.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Andrei Svechnikov, Carolina Hurricanes.
Andrei Svechnikov, 37.
Correct. Keandre Miller, Carolina Hurricanes.
19.
Correct. Yaniv Peretz, Carolina Hurricanes.
Again? Can you say it again?
Yaniv Peretz, Carolina Hurricanes.
Pass.
Scott Walker, Carolina Hurricanes.
26.
Incorrect. Jeff Brown, Carolina Hurricanes.
I don't know. I'll say 11.
Incorrect. Yaniv Peretz, Carolina Hurricanes.
Peretz?
Peretz.
I don't know it.
He's a goalie. Played at Quinnipiac with Skylar Brindamore. Had a cup of coffee with the Canes. It's a tough one. Don't get me wrong. It's a tough one. Svech, 37. You got it. Keandre Miller. You got it with 19. Peretz, we were looking for number 60. Scott Walker, you were in the right neighborhood. We were looking for 24. And Jeff Brown, 21. You threw 11 out there, which is kind of close. Either way, you got 2. So we'll see if it holds up. Go ahead and stay on the line. That brings us to Andrew and Carrie. Andrew, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right, perfect. The categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL geographical players. These are all players with cities or states or something geographical in their name. NFL players is the next category, but they all wrote children's books. Or NBA players born south of the equator.
NFL geographical players.
All right, I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. You need at least 3 for the win. Do you have any questions before we get started?
Nope.
Perfect. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Jordan Love, Green Bay Packers.
10.
Correct. Orlando Pace, St. Louis Rams.
7.
Incorrect. Dallas Goedert, Philadelphia Eagles.
88.
Correct. Austin Eckler, Washington Commanders.
30.
Correct. Drake London, Atlanta Falcons.
5.
Correct. Orlando Pace, St. Louis Rams.
16.
Incorrect. Orlando Pace, St. Louis Rams.
Pass.
You can't. Orlando Pace, St. Louis Rams.
12.
You were just throwing darts for Orlando Pace, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. 76, one of the few offensive tackles to be the number 1 overall pick. Ohio State guy, went to the Rams. Really good player. Really good performance by you. Fell one short of a perfect score, but plenty enough for the win. You earned the 4-pack of tickets to see Avatar, Fire, and Ash. Congrats.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead and stay on the line, and Dennis will grab the info he needs to make sure you get your tickets. Any other good aliens pop into your brain while that was going on? Yeah, I had another good one.
What's that?
Sugar water.
Oh, yeah, the big giant cockroach from Men in Black.
Yeah. Men in Black had a few.
Men in Black had quite a few, actually.
There's some good ones across TV, movies.
Did we count the little aliens from Toy Story?
Oh, the claw. Absolutely. If you would have picked that, I mean, that's within the realm.
I would absolutely take them.
There's a lot of good movie aliens. If we open up to TV, you could throw Mork in there. What is Alf?
Yeah. Alf.
He's just an Alf. There's someone out there probably has the answer.
Superman.
Oh, do
Superman
we consider
is
him
an
an
alien.
alien? Interesting. I don't think of him as an alien.
But he is.
He's a superhero.
And he's an alien.
So then would all the superheroes be aliens?
No.
What makes you an alien?
He's from another planet. He's from Krypton.
And all the other superheroes are from here? Okay.
I mean, Thor's not, but, you know.
Thor doesn't feel like an alien.
But he is.
He's a god.
Yeah, from another planet.
All right, we could have that debate. Either way, Predator and Jabba the Hutt, for putting him on the spot, I thought were pretty good answers. So credit to our callers, and credit to our caller for winning the tickets. Again, 4-pack of tickets, Fandango tickets, that is, to see Avatar, Fire, and Ash at participating theaters, courtesy of 20th Century Studios. And I do feel like I sold Orlando Pace a little short there. He's one of the most talented offensive linemen in the history of the sport. Absolute monster. Was kind of one of the driving forces of those early 2000s Rams teams, even though he's probably forgotten, and it's, all the love goes to Kurt Warner and Torrey Holt and Marshall Falk and Isaac Bruce and the squad. He's a really, really good one. It's rare that an offensive lineman goes number 1 overall and isn't a regretful number 1 overall. So shout out to Orlando Pace. Unfortunately, probably a little before our caller's time, so they didn't get it, but it's a good one. It's a worthy call there. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I do feel like I want to keep reminding you. The 78 Ventures Bowl, Delaware, Louisiana, tonight. If you're looking for something to do, it starts at 8:30. It is the first bowl game as far as FBS bowl game goes in the history of Delaware football. It's also our first year up there. So shout out to the Blue Hens as they make their bowl debut, hunting for a win. They are not favored, but we've been counted out before. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm going to ask you a question when we come back. You can send me your answer on Twitter during the commercial break if you want to, at Donnelly Sports. If the season ended right now for the Carolina Panthers, right now, 3 games left to play, they decide not to play him, who is the offensive MVP for the Carolina Panthers? Riddle me that, and we'll debate coming up next.
I'm Adam Gold, and I'm there.
Tim.
I'm Tim Donnelly, and I'm there.
Dennis.
I'm Dennis Cox, and I'm there.
Victoria.
I'm Victoria Bodenecker, and I'm there.
Paul.
I'm Paul Eihander, and I'm there too.
You'll find them all here on the brand new 99.9 The Fan app. To work, to school, the beach, the mountains, the arena, take The Fan with you wherever you go. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today. Powered by Aspire Money Management.
Hello, I'm John Heister for John Heister Chevrolet in Fuquay Arena. People are asking us, how are you selling so many cars all of a sudden? Well, did you know that the Beltline has opened up the outer loop? We're only 28 minutes from Knightdale. We're only 19 minutes from Clayton and 15 minutes from Apex. We're now the most convenient Chevrolet dealership to reach in the Triangle. It's just one more reason to get off your keister and come to Heister.
Now at John Heister Chevrolet, get $10,000 off a new 2026 Silverado 1500. See dealer for details. Together, let's drive.
Hey, folks, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Folks, this is your last week, your last chance to sign up for the program over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center to save 20%. Contact them now, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com and use the promo code LOSEIT when you sign up. That way you can save 20%. That deal runs out on Friday, December 19th, so take advantage of it right now. Give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Set up a free 15-minute phone call. figure out if the program is the right thing for you, bring any questions and health concerns that you might have, and decide if you want to go forward with the program. I've lost over 40 pounds, 42 pounds to be exact, with the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I've done that in 4 months. Visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com or 919-897-7506. Use the promo code LOSEIT to save 20%. Results may vary.
Guys, thanks for helping me carry my Christmas tree.
Zoe, this thing weighs a ton.
Drewski, lift with your legs, man.
Santa! Did you get my letter?
He's talking to you, Bridges.
I'm not.
Of course he did. Right, Santa?
You know, my elf Drewski here, he handles the nice list.
An elf? I'm 6'3". What everyone wants is iPhone 17. And at T-Mobile, you can get it on them. That center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. Right, Mrs. Claus?
I'm Mrs. Claus's much younger sister. And at T-Mobile, there's no trade-in needed when you switch. So you can keep your old phone.
Or give it as a gift.
And the best part? You can make the switch to T-Mobile from your phone in just 15 minutes.
Nice. My side of the tree is slipping.
Timber!
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Switch in just 15 minutes and get iPhone 17 on us with no trade-in needed.
With 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Finance agreement 256 gigs, $830. Eligible port in a new line. $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dennis, we have a Twitter follower.
Go on.
Who has a bone to pick with you.
All right, go on. You know, you can at me.
A Broncos fan. I think they were feeding me, because I said we could debate about whether Thor is an alien or not.
Okay.
I think they were trying to be my little, helper.
Okay.
Thor is not an alien.
How?
Asgard is not a planet, but a realm existing alongside Midgard, where we are, like a parallel dimension.
Oh, okay.
So it's not coming from another planet, it's coming from another realm.
Nah.
Huh?
Nah. Get out of here.
Bet you didn't think I was bringing that kind of facts.
Get out of here.
Because you didn't know I had a ghostwriter. Shout out to the Broncos fan on Twitter. Boom. He doesn't feel like an alien. I'll give you Superman feels a bit like an alien. Thor doesn't nearly.
Because he is an alien.
I know, but you're trying to say Thor is. Thor doesn't feel like he is. I'm agreeing with you in part, but disagreeing with you on the other part.
Okay.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Now I'll ask you a sports question, Dennis.
Oh, okay.
Then now that we're done debating movies that you, quite frankly, you pay attention to more than me, so I probably should defer. We'll go to who is the offensive MVP for the Carolina Panthers if the season ended right now. Right? Not in who you think is going to play best or who the season rides on. Like the hay is in the barn, the work is done. Who is the offensive MVP?
T-Mac? Terrell McMillan?
Even with the recent little lull?
Yeah, but, I mean, everyone's had a lull this season. There's no one that's been really consistent this season on offense for the Panthers.
Yep.
I mean, outside, again, if you want to go offensive line and say Damian Lewis, then I'd be like, all right.
59
that
catches.
might be it.
59 catches, 851 yards, 6 touchdowns. No higher in any main statistical category than tied for 14th in the league. That's Terrell McMillan. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying it is wildly easy to nitpick any answer to that question, right? If you want to throw Bryce Young out there as a potential offensive MVP, I could tear that apart. If you wanted to throw Rico Dowdle, you could tear that apart. If you wanted to, whatever you put out there, there is an obvious answer aside from maybe Damian Lewis, or if you wanted to go I'm putting the offensive line. But even that, you kind of judge the offensive line by the production from the players that utilize it, meaning running backs, and that hasn't always been great. So it's a really interesting question, and I have to mention Adam Gold asked this question first on social media, and it's rare, and many of you are probably like, no duh, when there's a question that I don't have an opinion on or that I can't come up with an answer to because it's just in my nature to spew whatever I think. I don't think there's an answer to that. Like, who is your MVP? This is one of those weird years where, like, the Heisman finalist is going to have like a defensive back and a kick returner. It's like by default it's going to be somebody else because it's not a strong class for the Panthers. And it's interesting because even a year like last year, where I don't think it's outlandish to say the offense wasn't as good. I think there was an obvious MVP, right? Chuba Hubbard ran for 1,200 yards in 15 games played last year. Like, there's your offensive MVP from a season ago. This year, I don't know if they have it. And, like, you hope, as, you know, there are some of you out there that really hope that, Bryce Young grows into that, because I think an offense is most healthy when your quarterback is the MVP just by the nature of how valuable that position is. But I wouldn't be surprised if Tetairoa McMillan in the next few years is, obviously the best player on the offense. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next few years the best player on the offense isn't on the team right now, right? Whether it's bringing in another quarterback if and or when they decide to move on from Bryce, if it's bringing in a running back after Chuba Hubbard's money is kind of expired and if Rico doesn't re-sign this year. The answer is more complicated. Every answer you give brings about more questions, which leads me to my next question. Is this the issue? Is this the problem? We talked earlier about the running game. We've talked about the struggles of the passing game all year. The offense doesn't have what we've just I feel like we've had this conversation, just worded it 10 different ways. We don't know what they major in. We don't know what they fall back on. We don't know what they can build their offense around. If you name any of the really, truly good offenses in the NFL, there is something there that it's like, hey, if everything goes haywire, at least so-and-so will be productive. At least so-and-so will be open. At least so-and-so we can lean on. I don't know if the Carolina Panthers have that. And that right there in lies the issue, right? That's why they can be so hot and so cold on a week-to-week basis, because when things start going south, particularly on offense, they don't have the guy to stop the flood from occurring, right? They don't have we really need this drive to work. I'll actually use the New Orleans Saints as an example. The Saints offense was doing nothing the entire game against the Carolina Panthers. The drive where they needed a touchdown, they threw it to Chris Olave like every single play.
3 straight completions to him.
And they were all 15 plus. It was just, he was catch, fall down, get open, catch, touchdown. Look at that. And they knew, I don't think there was a doubt in the room, especially with Alvin Kamara hurt, where they were going, who their guy was. And for as great as Tetairoa McMillan has been this year, and I've been driving the bandwagon, full head of steam at times this year for Tetairoa McMillan, there's just enough miscommunications. There's just enough drops. There's just enough not quite getting it dones that I don't know if, I think he might be a better wide receiver than Chris Olave. I'm not sure if in that moment they can go to 3 straight completions to Tetairoa McMillan to get down the field and win the game or to tie the game up like the Saints did. And by the way, I'm not saying the Saints have the greatest offense in the history of the world. They just had enough from what they lean on in big moments to get it done. Who's the MVP of the offense for the Carolina Panthers is another way of asking, if you have one drive for all the marbles, who do you want to be the one that everything hinges on? Right? If you have one drive, your offense hasn't played well, but your defense has kept you in the game. You're down 7 when it feels like you're down 30. You have one drive. What are you going to do? Now, obviously, clock is involved in that, right? If it's like, Chuba Hubbard, if you think that's the guy, you're probably not going to him on a 2-minute drill anyway, just because of the nature of his ability. But without that answer, I'm not sure the Panthers' potential is even knocking anyone off in the playoffs or even striking fear in anyone in the playoffs.
No, and nor should it.
If you make the playoffs, you want to at least strike a little bit of fear.
You would hope.
And they are last week was awful. They're still very much in the mix for the postseason.
Oh yeah, very true.
You don't want to be a doormat on the way to the conference championship for somebody else. You want to at least be, hey, if somebody catches you, right? If somebody if they play their best, we might lose this one. And until they have that calling card, I'm not sure anybody's going to look at you that way, unless you just play another borderline not their playoff team.
This Panthers team this season has been under 20 points scoring as a team in 8 of 14 games. 8 of 14. Literally over half their games, they've scored less than 20 points. Less than 20. And I think, by the way, they're 2-6 in those games. 2-6. Now, one of them, the game was against Buffalo. All right, you get Andy Dalton starting at quarterback. Okay, we could throw that one out of the mix because that was just a little bit of a helter-skelter of a game as a whole. But still, seven starts with Bryce. That's over half of his starts under.
And I'm looking at the I just brought up the NFL defenses and sorted by points allowed per game. And I would say for the most part, like the bottom 10, I don't think they have an answer to that question, as crazy as it is. Actually, and maybe not, but definitely the ones worse than the Panthers. Like the Browns, what do they do when times get tough? The Titans, what do they do when times get tough?
Yeah, and those teams stink.
They don't have answers. Their offenses stink, and their defenses haven't been good to bail it out. If you get a little bit better offensively than the Panthers, you get to like the Falcons, you get to the Vikings. I think they mostly have answers, whether they're able to execute or not. But you know who their better players are, and you know that they can perform. I don't know if the Panthers have that yet. I think Tetero McMillan is a possibility, and I think there are many people that are holding out hope that Bryce Young can. But I think there's also some people out there that are a bit more realistic with some of that. But I will say, if I had to make a vote, like if I'm a Heisman voter, and they're like, hey, votes are due by 6 p.m., December 17th for who the offensive MVP is for the Carolina Panthers, my top two are 100% Damian Lewis and Tetero McMillan, which could not be more different options. And I think I'm probably picking Damian Lewis. And I'm saying out loud, what a weird year. I'm going to pick Damian Lewis as the offensive MVP as I click send. Either the rookie wide receiver who has battled focus drops but made a few highlights, some very big catches, or the offensive guard who is very difficult to discern, like what value you should give him and what value you should, dish on to somebody else. It's a weird year for the offense, but until they solve that, I think mostly you're fighting very, very hard to be somebody's doormat in the postseason.
Is it concerning to you the fact that we're not it's not a quick debate of like, oh, is it Bryce or is it Rico? Or is it Bryce or is it Chuba? Like the fact that we're like, it's not like, yeah, it ain't that guy.
I think it's even an issue that there's no one we're mad isn't the answer.
Yeah.
It's like if you talk to the Vikings, like who's your MVP? They're going to go like, should be Justin Jefferson, but they're not getting it done this year. Like I don't even know who it should be for the Panthers. You know what I mean? That's almost
should be.
I mean, are you going to say Bryce?
Should be.
Well, I mean, if you say that about every quarterback.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know who had the most disappointing season in order for us not to have that answer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Which is an issue. And I think next year, maybe if it's not Tetero McMillan, we'll be disappointed. But you can't get mad at a rookie for only having 850 yards through 14 games. That sounds absolutely ridiculous.
Especially when you've had only 3 games where your quarterback's thrown for over 200 yards?
Yeah. Even more so. I'd like to see him get in the end zone a little bit more. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Tomorrow will be another day of CanesMas, so make sure you're tuned in about 4:45. Potentially get yourself a CanesMas gift. Tonight is a Carolina Hurricanes game night, which means you can hear the Canes take on Nashville on the road tonight right here on 99.9 The Fan. Tomorrow we'll have another good show, so hopefully you'll tune in for that. Download the app, subscribe to our YouTube, and I think that's covering all of the bases. We will have more Avatar tickets for the numbers game. All right. With that, Merry CanesMas to you all, and you know how we're going to end it. Go Hens, everybody. 68 Ventures Bowl, Delaware. Take down the Raging Cajuns. We'll see you tomorrow.
Move your sports day forward.
You know the story of A Christmas Carol, the ghosts of past, present, and yet to come. We can tie it a bit to the Panthers season, the past, innocence by fans, big expectations, new faces, the present, a roller coaster ride of Bryce is our guy, or maybe not. Only the yet to come could be different than the Christmas tale. Unlike Scrooge, we actually care about December games.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.